Halterman Welch, and we've got a special edition of Blinkers Off. This is unlike anything we've done. Halterman, welcome to the show, but I bring in our better guests here, Saratoga Slim and Mike Somobomb Samich. Mike, you're on the wrong show, dude.
Yeah, well, Magic told me to be here, and then he never showed up. So I can't even. It feels weird not to be like, and I'm Mike. I don't even know what to do with myself right now.
Wait, hang on. I'm Jared.
And I'm Mike.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
it. Slim, what's up, buddy?
After Magic attacked me on the last edition of Blinkers Off that we were on, I'm really happy he's actually not on it because I was really pissed off last time. I can't deal with him right now.
I'm hoping we get a Slim impersonation of Magic on this show.
Never again.
Halterman, where the hell are you at?
Man, I am coming to you live from Plattsburgh, New York. Just got here a couple of hours ago. I'm live at Uncle Vito's bar, and I'm fired up, man. This is going to be a fun show. So I'm live at a bar. What better way? I'll be live all week at this bar. The Rocket Hour, Blinkers Off. I'm here at this bar all week.
Everyone,
did you land in Albany?
Nah, man, we drove. Yeah,
all right.
We're sneaking around.
You driving past Saratoga on your way home?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I want to see it because you're past. You're not doing the COVID protocols correctly,
No.
so I don't know.
No, we're not at all.
That's why they drove Slim to avoid COVID protocols.
Exactly.
Oh, God, that's really bad. Cuomo's coming after you. Cuomo has a bug on this.
Bring him on. Bring on Cuomo, man.
That's why I didn't say the name of the bar, man.
He's too busy playing Sam Houston tonight, so don't worry. We'll get him taken care of. Welcome to everybody that's on the show here right now. Almost 100 people on this live watching us right now. Thank you. If you're listening to us after the fact on Blinkers Off, make sure you join us usually it's every Thursdays, but we jumped to Friday this week because not a lot going on this weekend other than a lot of football. So we thought we'd talk a lot of football, and Samich is like, hey, Sam Houston's on tonight, so we got to fit that in. So that's what it seems like. That's what most people are doing right now, jumping on here because the late pick 4 is about to go, which has an awesome takeout. But dude, Samich, heck of a start to Sam Houston. So we probably should get started on some picks here.
Yeah, it's been an okay 5 races. Just up about $7,000, so we'll take it. If you want to check out the picks, we put up a free grid on Twitter, so you can check out those. A bunch of people cashed the early pick 4, which is awesome, for $1,500. Had a bunch of people at the early pick 3, paid $200 back for a lot of people. It's on a $6 ticket, so the grid is crushing over there. So make sure you check it out. And I'll have a free grid up tomorrow too for Sam Houston. So yeah, take advantage. It's fun, good times. That track. Definitely play it. 12% takeout, daily doubles, pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s. Vote with your gambling dollar, man. They're doing it right for the players, so we got to make sure we give them some love.
All right, so we obviously, like I say, it's an NFL wild card weekend like we've never seen before, with 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday, and of course the national championship in college on Monday. So we have a lot of football to talk about on this show. What you drinking there, buddy?
I don't know. I just found it at the bar, so I'm pouring a glass as we speak. After these losers were mouthing that nobody's drinking. Trust me, we're drinking. I don't know if you see behind me. There's all kinds of liquor. All right, I'm just making.
Samich got something. Yeah,
I'm ready to reload, man. It's good night.
I'm gonna have to bounce off to get a beer in a little bit, but.
All right, so let's get to it because we are sitting here. What are we about 17 minutes? From the post time for race 7, which kicks off 1 minute to race 6, so race I guess we're a little behind. But what do you got? You guys want to do a draft here? Do you want all 4 of us pick up? Like we do, we have 4 in each leg,
or 3 in each leg. I thought it's 3.
Well, there's 4 of us, so I thought.
Oh, that's a big ticket.
Let's
however you want to do it.
Let's do 4, and then if we overlap, the last person can pass.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. Let's do it.
All right. So, starting out with race 7, who wants to go first?
Samich.
All right, race 7. I thought this was actually a tough race. I had 4 horses that I liked. The biggest price of those is the 9 horse. Geez, Ali, all crazy. Geez, a little crazy, something like that. Anyway, this is the first turf race of the year, and the 1 horse on the inside is an Asherson, which I think is a terrible favorite. One of the keys to Sam Houston is fading Asherson at the right time and playing him at the right time. I think this is one of those times to fade him. So I'm going to go to the 9 horse with Sophie Doyle, who I think has a legit shot at wiring the field in this race because there's not a ton of speed. So I'm going to go with the 9. G's a little crazy.
All right, Halterman, go.
Okay. I'm going to go with my boy Steve Asmussen. I think he's a very worthy favorite in this spot. I definitely want to play the 1, and I want to have the 1 on our ticket. I think Asmussen will win by 3 or 4 lengths here. So no question in my mind. Asmussen, a great favorite to kick off the slate pick 4. Definitely one you need to use. Really excited to have him on the ticket. Taking a big class drop. That's the angle there. So, Steve Asmussen in the 1 for me.
All right, Slim, are you playing this? Do you got a ticket?
Oh, yeah, I'm playing it. I'm going to go with either Flower House or Good Fight. So it's going to be tough here. Let me take a look at Good Fight. They both ranked the same in Brisnet, basically. Good Fight. I'll go with the Broberg horse. With McMahon is not riding this horse, right?
It's Eckleberry. Eckleberry got like all the Broberg mounts. So he's going to win. Yeah.
I'll go with the Broberg horse. Good Fight.
All right, the 8 horse.
All right, Samich, you've looked at this the sequence better than I have. So, do you want to keep? You wanted me to get the 7 in here because that was the next one I liked.
I agree.
But I liked Holy Creed as a price, but I didn't know if you wanted to go forward another leg. So, if that's the case, we'll throw 7 in there.
Now, I love those horses where they only have like intermittent turf races and they run at these smaller tracks where they get back onto the turf. And if the 7 continues to progress like he has in the previous turf races, he could be the best horse in this race at 6-1. Oh, it's my boy Jimmy Creed.
And I kind of thought Halterman might use this horse since this horse has been riding at Remington. So this obviously if Halterman likes him, he know that because he hasn't missed a race with this horse.
Yeah, no, I do like this horse. I think this was a must use. So I'm not going to get angry. I think we've used the 4 that we need there.
Yeah, we only wasted 1 bullet on that Asmussen.
Anyway.
All right, Aaron, you want to kick us off?
Race 8. Let's go to race 8.
All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I'm going to use Murder and McMahon and Broberg in this one, and I'm going to go definitely with the 1 horse here. Broberg, obviously it's Sam Houston. He's just money most of the time. I thought this horse really stood out. So I'm taking the 1. I'm not going to get real long-winded. I just think the 1 is one you have to have on the ticket.
Slim, what do you think?
Hold on 1 second. Someone else go.
Solid, go.
I'm going to take a 15-1 shot here. I'm going to use the 5, Rock the Devil. This horse, if you go back to its races at Sam Houston, it was progressing nicely, was able to win wire to wire. I want speed specifically at sprint races at Sam Houston, so we'll take the 5. We'll take the 5, Rock the Devil here at 15-1.
Slim, you got anything yet? You want me to throw one in?
I like Algebra. My girl Jane Leslie's up on this. No, Lane Leslie. Is that a girl? Is Lane Leslie a girl? All right. I thought it was Jane Leslie for a second. Isn't it Leslie where there's a girl? Jockey?
No, there's Mike Leslie. That's a dude too.
Is this Mike Leslie's daughter or something? Or his son?
Still a boy.
So the difference between Sam, she always calls female horses males and vice versa. So, all right, I'm going with this horse, Algebra.
One would think it'd be easier to distinguish between the jockeys, male and female, but not always. All right, I'll save mine here, okay? Because we'll just do 3 here.
Okay.
Well, it was the only one on the Samo grid that was left in the next 3, so I did that.
Because I like the 1. I think that's a pretty. You get in 2 there, and I mean.
The 1 I think is the top.
This race is going off. The 6th race at Sam Houston is off. I got the 3 and the 4. I played a pick 4. I played a pick 5. So I needed action, buddy.
Man, I thought this Asmussen would run a lot better, the 3 horse, and he is not looking beautiful right now.
No, this isn't the Asmussen you wanted.
Well, he had 2 in this race, which kind of made me a little concerned.
Good with numbers.
Yep, the 3 horse was
Todd Fincher. I got Todd Fincher here.
I really like the 1 here. Where the hell's the 1?
The 4 just checked.
4 in pretty good. No, they're kind of further back. Jesus.
Get up, 1 horse. Where the hell are you?
No, I'm in trouble.
The 1's outside. The 1's looking good.
Get up, 1. Get up, 1. Get up, 1.
Come on, 4.
Oh, the 4's coming.
Oh, who's that? Oh, yeah.
Right on by everybody.
This 4
right
got
on
it.
by. Right on by.
Come on, 4. Keep on rolling.
Yeah,
There
we'll
we
take
go.
that.
Canoodling for Todd Fincher, also the trainer of Senor Buscador on the Derby Trail, the number 5 pick in the draft, and Todd Fincher gets it done on opening night.
We talked about Fincher on the Magic Mike show. We talked about Lucciarelli, the other guy. Aaron, you probably know him, coming down from where is it? Emerald Downs. He has a string of horses at Sam Houston. Both of those guys could have big meets here with horses that they brought in.
Lucciarelli is a guy who nobody probably knows but me and people that watch Emerald, but that guy's got good horses. So yeah, keep an eye on Lucciarelli at this meet. I totally agree.
Off the claim too. He's very good.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to race 9. Who's going first?
Slim.
Race 9. I was on race 6 because I was just trying to see if my horse Canoodling would win. All right, race 9. Race 9 at Sam Houston Race Park. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a 5.5 furlong sprint.
Just wasting time while he figures out who to pick.
I like Soap Bubble. The 1A. Is Soap Bubble scratch?
Nope, he is the half of the entry that is live.
Yep, he's in.
Soap Bubble. Give me Soap Bubble, the 1A.
Okay.
Jared.
I don't know how to follow. I don't know how to follow him on that. Give me. Oh gosh, I almost with the 3 there. I don't know if I like the 3 here. Yeah, how do you guys handicap this all the time?
Enjoyably, man. It's going good. It's pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Give me old. How's Ron Maquette do there?
I mean,
About as good as he does everywhere.
This is the Maquette horse with my guy Ray Lou on him.
Ray Lou. Give me. Well,
Isn't it?
how about we do this? How about we give a little love to a 15-1 shot here? I love this Sire Golden Sense number 10 gum wrapper. How about that?
I like it.
Soap Bubble and Gum Wrapper are for okay.
Great names.
I'm gonna go ahead and use the 6 Eternal Force then.
Yes.
I like this Marquette horse. I like the fact that Gutierrez is up. It has multiple back numbers that dominate this field. So I'm gonna use the 6 Eternal Force.
Easy pick for me, the 4. I definitely think we need to use the 4 here. Listen, Gustafson, this guy, here's the deal with this trainer, Gustafson. He could hit it like 1% like most of the year, and he found some magic juice somewhere. And then all of a sudden he became a 25% trainer overnight with the same horses. So it was kind of interesting. But I wouldn't leave him off. I think 6 to 1 is a really good price. I think we need to put the 4 in.
Cool.
Trainers are now using magic jizz.
Juice.
Oh, juice. I thought you said magic jizz. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on with these trainers?
That's the breeding shed, Slim.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah. That's like Tap It. Tapping
You know
up the magic jizz. You
what's
paid
funny-
$300,000 for it.
When we met Austin, that dude wasn't winning anything. So I think it was something Halterman slipped him that day. I don't know what it was, but
Listen, if it's a 2-horse race, he was finishing 3rd when we knew that guy. So, I don't know what happened, but
and you're right. All he does is win now. It seems like so.
His Remington and Lone Star meets were ridiculous, and they run off the screen. They win by like 8 when they win. So
It's like, hey, settle down, buddy. All right.
yeah,
If we get lucky enough to get to the final leg, race 10 on the pick 4, Samich will let you kick this one off.
All right, so I think this is the best leg to single, and I think Aaron's going to use the horse that I would single. So can I use a horse from the last leg?
Okay.
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm going to add the 7 Midnight War from the last leg, sired by Violence. And also,
Yeah.
is on the lead, likes to be in the lead. So I'm going to add the 7 to the last race and pass on having to pick this race.
Interesting. See, there's no rules to this game. That's why I like it so much. We just
We're going
kinda let
5 deep in that leg?
Yeah.
All right. It's a 5.5 furlong sprint, so anything can happen.
Give me the leader. Give me that Violence horse.
Yeah.
Halterman, give us the single, Halterman, because I can already tell you who it's going to be in this race.
you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, folks. And in this race, you got to choke down that Asmussen chalk. The number 5 Fold'em is the horse we got to use.
Yeah, Amalfi Princess. Lost to that horse.
We're
last
going
time.
5 deep in a leg, then I'm fine singling the last leg. If we make it there, I'm good. Let me think. Let me look, though.
Let me get this.
Two.
You want to single a horse that last time out got beat by over 11 lengths?
Okay. Then I'm going to use one other horse then. If Twilight Curfew, because he seems to have the best early speed. Oh, my girl Lexi also has good early speed. Well, Twilight Curfew.
Twilight Curfew won a stakes race too back and got DQ'd, so she's still a maiden. That's a good use.
Oh, really? Okay. So I think we should use that horse then.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So what that would make it 4 by 3 by 5 by 2.
$60 for 50 cents.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I like it. Let's leave it.
Okay.
Okay. So give me the numbers then. Let's read them back.
Did anybody write these down?
I just bet it. I'll send it.
Okay.
Come on.
Good news.
Send it. So
He doesn't know how to write down. He just punches. Punch, ticket,
Yeah,
punch,
baby.
ticket.
Come on. It's
It's
a
like
good night. We can punch a couple extra.
182. Boom. $14,000. I'm like, fuck, what the happened, David?
Here, I'll email it to you.
Okay, I need to throw it on here. So
Yeah.
Like this ticket, $132. Returns $27,000. I'm like,
We're still
come
fine.
up with these things. Samo Bomb, a legend.
Yeah, baby.
I'm freezing in here. It is so cold in this room, you guys. It's unbelievable.
Keep-
Like,
In
keep
Plattsburgh, the coldest
whiskey,
place
okay?
in America.
you got to keep drinking. You got to keep drinking the whiskey. It will warm you up.
okay, I'll keep trying. Yeah. Yeah, post her up. Let's do it.
What? Hey, he's gonna send it over, and I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, for
All right,
everybody
cool.
asking, yes, we are going to put it up on the screen. Don't worry. Listen, it's late at night. Give us some time. Come on.
Yeah.
You still have
Post it,
time.
Stomach.
You still have time. They're not loading the gate, so we're
Yeah.
good.
Everyone's telling us to drink more, and then they want things to come up
I know.
fast.
You can't have it both ways, people. Okay.
I'll be back. I got to get a beer.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm making sure I sent the right one. Okay. What is it? Measure twice, cut once, baby. Let's go.
How many tickets you got there, buddy?
A couple. A couple.
All right.
Okay.
So, what are we? How long are we till the next race here? I got it.
That's the pick 4 for anyone watching too that I played on off my grid. So if you want to play that one, that's the one I played, and then Jared is working on throwing up his.
Yep.
Do you want me to read it out or should I not?
Here you go.
No, it's fine.
Should we talk some football?
Let's do it.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. Yep.
There you go. There is the 1789 with 158 with 146710 with 25. There is your hopefully. See, what did you do differently? So you got the 4 in there.
Yeah, I chucked the Aston from the first leg, added the 4. Second leg were identical. Third leg, I went a little bit shorter, and I added the 3, who's 15-1 in the final leg, just to try and get a little bit more spice in that one. But I do think the 5 is probably your best single. That horse, just if it runs, the class it was running against last time compared to what it's facing today at Sam Houston is just night and day.
Yeah. He's facing dogs, and last time out faced really good horses. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It just from a class standpoint, it's almost like the 8th race today at Gulfstream. The 4-horse won by like 4 or 5 lengths, and that horse sucks. But he was facing such terrible horses, and sometimes you're just the best of a bad bunch. And I'm with you. That's what I thought. I did like the 2. I'm glad we didn't single and threw the 2 in though, because I think if there's an upsetter, it is going to be that horse. So listen, I think we got a good ticket there, boys. I like it.
And so people asked for us to read them out. So the group ticket is 1789 with 158 with 146710 with 25. And then my 50-cent pick 4 was 4789 with 158 with 167 with 235.
All right.
There you go.
Let's do
And
it.
it's can't say we don't give out free stuff here, guys. Okay.
Hopefully everyone's up from betting on that grid early.
Yeah.
158, 146710. All right.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Bam. Love it.
All right.
All right. Slimmy's going to get a drink. We will get into some football. I'm excited for this weekend. This weekend, like you said, we've never seen anything quite like this when it comes to wild card. Usually, having the extra team has an extra game this week, 2 extra games, 1 on each day. Obviously, a lot going on. It's kind of interesting too. I thought Magic might be on here, so everyone kind of had. Sorry, Samich, your Dolphins aren't in it, but everyone's Halterman, you got your Browns in it. Of course, the Chiefs aren't playing this weekend, but they're in it. I thought if Magic was on it, the Steelers, we could talk about that. If Ricky was on it, he's got Baltimore, although he did tell me to take Baltimore -3, so we could talk about that. But it's an interesting weekend. And I think some of these games, some of them are not, but some of these games are really, I think will be really good.
Yeah, I think we only have one game that's not fun. Like to me, the Tampa, I guess the Rams Seattle game isn't great either, but the Tampa Washington game is the game where it could get a little bit out of hand and may not be that interesting. But just to have 3 games each day, back to back to back, and it should be 6 awesome games and 6 good betting games too, is it's going to make for a hell of a weekend. I mean, with everything going on with 2 mandatory payouts, you have a massive online tournament, and then you have the wild card weekend too. It's going to be a fun 2 days.
The interesting thing about these games is I thought they got the lines absolutely right to make them what you just said, really good betting games. I mean, they really, even with Washington, you're saying, okay, maybe that's going to be a little bit of a blowout, but 8 points and they're at home and they've got a great defensive line against an immobile quarterback. You never know. They might be able to keep it close enough. So yeah, I'm with you. They're all very enticing. I'm doing nothing Saturday and Sunday, but horse racing and football. That's it. That is it, and there's no reason to do anything but that.
I've already warned the wife.
Me too.
I honestly, earlier today, I was looking at the schedule, like the times. I was like, okay, I need to get to go to the store before the noon game because I'm not leaving the house until after the last game. It's just not happening. So
yeah.
The Washington game is going to be interesting because Halterman, you kind of mentioned that the other night, although the way that game ended was awful, but the Washington defense might be interesting against Tom Brady.
I think the key to the game is, can Washington get enough points on the board to cover the spread, basically? Because I do think they will give him problems. I think that they are young, they are fast, they're physical, and they can get to the quarterback. And to me, this is a worst nightmare for Brady. But the problem is that they've got a lot of weapons. Tampa has a lot of weapons. They're going to have guys open. I think Tampa gets in the high 20s, and I just think the key to the game is, can Washington, get up, say, a 28-21 type game and cover the spread? I don't think Washington is a serious win candidate, but at +8, they at least are interesting, at least from a betting standpoint. This game, I think, is going to be pretty close to that margin, and I think it's kind of going to come down to the fourth quarter on whether Tampa covers or not.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the best way to attack this game is either to hold off till the second half and play the under. Washington's defense has only given up 44 points in the second half since week 6. That's the least in the NFL. The second and third ranked defenses in the second half since that same time frame are in the 70s and 80s. So they make great adjustments in half. And if Tampa is up, they're going to slow down the pace anyway. I also love the Bucs as a teaser leg here because I agree with you. I think that you may see Washington cover the 2 or the 8, but I don't think that they'll be able to win the game. And so if you have a teaser and you're able to tease the 8 down to 6 and you pair it with either, I don't know, I like Indy, I like Buffalo pick 'em, I like Pitt pick 'em. So I think those are 2 other teams that you could tease the Bucs with and be able to get a nice little 2 or 3 team teaser going.
Should we wait for Slim or?
Yeah, how you guys doing? What's up? No,
there he is.
Are you guys
right on time, baby?
You want to go through it game by game, so it's a little bit more formalized here?
I would like
that. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I think that's. What do you guys think? I think it's a great idea.
We go through it. You got your overall views, but why don't we go through each game? We got 2 hours, so
it's not like there's a banner on the bottom with a game or anything.
Are we talking about the? Why don't we go through them in just random order?
We're letting Aaron decide. It just got off the rails.
I thought you would go the first game of the weekend is the Bills and the Colts and shit.
There you go, Slim.
Hey, good job, Slim.
There you go.
Okay, so
look at that.
There we go. First game of the weekend is the Colts at the Bills. Josh Allen looks to continue his MVP-like season. And from a fantasy perspective, I had him on my team this year. He was unbelievable. Love Josh Allen. Obviously, you can easily stack him in daily fantasy with Stephon Diggs. I almost said a horse to use. I said
look at that ad.
A good wide receiver to use.
Look at that ad.
A good wide receiver to use. You got to check if Cole Beasley is playing or not. If Cole Beasley is out, he probably will play. But either way, I think
don't distract you, Slim.
Gabriel Davis, the rookie has 4 targets or more in his last 6 games and 4 touchdowns over that time. If you're playing daily fantasy, he could be one of those boomer bust guys that gets like a 70-yard touchdown and just makes your day. He's only $5,000 in FanDuel. Guys that I like on the Colts, obviously Jonathan Taylor. He was the number 1 fantasy running back in the league for like the last 5 or 6 weeks of the year. He had 253 yards rushing last week. So, yeah, I don't think obviously the Colts have one way to win this game is to try to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hand, and they're going to try to run Jonathan Taylor all day. So he's going to do well. Bills are 18th in the league against fantasy running backs, so he's definitely the guy you want to focus on. And he is a little bit more expensive in the daily fantasy formats, but he's worth your dollar there. And even Naheem Hines, he has a lot of big games this year. You just want to, when you're playing daily fantasy, you just want to find a guy that can blow up for 2 touchdowns and have a big game. And you never know, Naheem Hines might be the guy who just has some 2 random touchdown game out of nowhere. So that's my take on that game.
So we're sitting here at what is it, -6.5. I don't know. Like, obviously, as a guy that's watched a lot of Phillip Rivers, I just have a lot of hatred for this guy, and I would really not like to depend on him in the playoffs. I mean, he hasn't been in the playoffs very often in his career because he's played for the Chargers. I do like the Colts. Like, that's a team that's a bad matchup for the Chiefs. As a Chiefs fan, I think at that line, I think they can keep this game close, just because of their defense, because the way they play the game, because like Slim said, because they like to run the ball a lot. But it's hard to get past the way that they just dismantled. Sorry, Samich, Miami that last game. I mean, just put up 60 points almost. I mean, good Lord. And you're right. I mean, Josh Allen, man, this dude is balling this year. So it's one of those games that I feel like you can take the -6 or the +6 if you're the Colts, 6.5. But at the same time, I feel like they could just blow them out too.
Yeah, I think this is a tough spot because, like, if you're just like, a lot of people say closing line is the God, right? The gospel of the NFL bet, right? And you have the Colts who closed as a small favorite against Pittsburgh. You have the Colts who closed as a pick'em or a small favorite against Baltimore. Neither of those teams would be +7 in this spot. So just from like what closing lines were in the past, Indy is almost the obvious pick. But then you flip that around and you say, do you really want to back Phillip Rivers going to a cold destination against Brian Dable, who's the offensive coordinator for the Bills, who's one of the best OCs in the game, and a defense at Indy that is, I think, a lot worse than people necessarily think because of who they've faced in their schedule. So this is one of those spots where the numbers specifically say you should play the Colts. I personally would play Bills or nothing, and I think this is a great teaser leg again where I don't see how the Bills lose this game. So I'm happy to take the Bills -0.5 point and tease them with Tampa -2 or tease them with Pittsburgh, who we'll talk about, I'm sure, a little bit later. The other thing, and Slim mentioned this, Buffalo's rush defense isn't great. They actually are 4th worst in explosive rush plays against. I like the Jonathan Taylor over single rushing play. I think it's either going to be high teens, low 20s. He'll have a run. He'll break at least one of them against this defense. And if he does, that should cash that bet by itself. But the other thing I think is interesting here is if you get in-game, if you look at if Indy gets down to the Bills, I think Indianapolis trying to come back against Buffalo is going to be a really bad game strategy for them. Buffalo's pass defense, specifically with White, who will probably follow Hilton across the field, they're going to have trouble throwing the ball deep. Rivers won't be able to stretch the field, especially in the cold. I mean, if they get down 10 to 15 points, I'm going to play Buffalo in-game minus whatever it is because I think that's the better value too.
Well, here's the deal on the AFC teams. I think there's a lot of really dressed up teams in here. I only think there's 2 AFC teams that are legit, and I think it's Kansas City, and I think it's Buffalo. I think Buffalo destroys the Colts tomorrow. I think this game is going to be a blowout. I don't want to back Phillip Rivers at all. Josh Allen is playing probably better than anybody not named Mahomes in the whole league right now. I mean, he's had a tremendous end of the year, but it's not just him. The whole Buffalo team, really, Jared, since they got stomped by the Chiefs, have turned it around and have played really, really well. So I'm with Buffalo all the way. Listen, Indianapolis, here's my big takeaway. They had a great shot 2 weeks ago to beat the Steelers, and the Steelers were playing awful, and they got up big on the Steelers, and then they shit down their leg something awful. Last week, they barely beat Jacksonville. I just think the Colts are a nice team. I think if the Colts match up with the Steelers again, maybe they would win this first-round game. But I think in this first round in the AFC, the one team that you did not want to play was the Bills. And so I think the Bills get it done here.
You mentioned that Pittsburgh game. They turtled up way too early. They started just to prevent defense and run the football. There's a big coaching advantage on Buffalo's side that people aren't talking about. Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, should be an NFL head coach and probably will be next year. They have a very good head coach, a very good D coordinator. They're very good on the offensive side. I like Frank Wright, but the Buffalo staff is much stronger than the Indy staff.
I would agree.
I mean, listen, it's not to me. I've seen it. If I have a bet on Phillip Rivers in this game, I'll puke. Like I would hate to be down in this game and big depending on. I've never rooted for Phillip Rivers one time in my life. I've never owned him in fantasy football. I hate that guy. And so no, I'm with you guys. I think you play Buffalo. I don't see how they lose this game. And to me, even though from a standpoint of a matchup, I don't know if the Colts would have matched up for. Like I wouldn't have really wanted to play the Colts next week as a Chiefs fan. I'd rather not. I'd rather play them than the Bills. So let's put it that way. So the Bills scared the hell out of me. I've told everyone this is that we've beat the Bills. This is a different team than that we beat. I mean, we dismantled them. You're right, but this is not the same team that we beat. So this is a different team. I'm with you guys. I think we're all on the Bills here.
What do we got? We got 3 minutes now to Sam Houston. So don't forget.
I got to get my tickets in here. I'm loving to pick 5. So yeah, We'll go to the next game after. Let's talk about the Sam Houston action, right?
All right, I'll throw the consensus ticket back up in case anyone's watching, so you can.
I think that's a good idea. Like in between each race, we talk. About one game, and we cover 4 or 5 games, and then maybe we'll have to.
Be here for 4 hours.
I don't think there's a lot to say about the Seattle game. We could probably cover quickly. That game is disgusting.
Well, this Sam Houston race, I think it really hinges on the one who I'm against and Aaron is on. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's a Steve Asmussen horse. We talked about this. It's Sam Houston fading and playing the right Asmussens is a huge key here. I don't love him on turf. I like him on dirt quite a bit, and this is one of those spots where I'm going to try and beat him on turf. But Aaron, you liked him quite a bit here. It was the class drop. Is that right?
Yeah. The class drop for me, I wouldn't say I liked him quite a bit, but he is on top, but I don't really like anybody that much. I used the 1-4-7-8. And for me, with Asmussen, the class drop is pretty significant. You look 2 races back at Remington Park, a nice maiden special weight win, finally got that maiden broke. And then I just think last time out, an allowance at Remington going a mile, those are tough races in the usually large fields. And now you're dropping all the way to a $25,000 claimer at Sam Houston. And you might say if this horse is kind of young, doesn't have a lot of starts, you're like, they're giving up on this filly. But let's face it, they need to give up on this filly. She's not great. But I just think the class drop is going to make her tough here. The 4, I kind of liked too. I kind of think this 4 getting back to the turf, I'm not really sure why they ever left the turf. So I think the 4 getting back to the turf is a pretty good angle here as well.
So you think I could punch in 2? You think I could punch in 2 pick 4 tickets and then 1 minute to post? Let's see.
I believe in you.
And I have to put money into my account. Come on, internet, don't fuck with me now.
You can do it. I think the key is how this race plays out on the front end. I didn't see a lot of pace. That's why I included the 9R ticket, and that's one of the things that concerns me about the 1. It's got a 63 time form rating early. Yep. And so the 1 horse is going to have to come from the back and is going to have to do it with a draw that's probably going to get shuffled pretty early. And I'm a little concerned about the trip the 1 takes. Now, I agree with you. The 1 could just be way better here. And I'm just hoping the 1 doesn't get a trip and isn't able to get up. I think that the 7, who we ended up adding late, and the 8 are both really interesting on the improve. They both need to take a step forward to be able to win the race, but I think it's logical that both of them do that. And you're getting a little bit more value on those 2. You're staring at 7-2 on the 7 Holy Creed and 9-2 on the 8 Good Fight right now.
8 obviously, anytime you got Broberg here, it's logical. And this is another one that's taking a drop in class. When this horse is spotted in the right spots, runs pretty well. Just trying to take some shots, and it didn't go quite well. But I'm with you. Listen, you talk about speed in this race. My fear is the 8 and 9 might hook up. To me, they look like the two horses that are going to go. So I'm a little worried about a speed duel between a couple of these. You're right, though. That's going to be the key to the race, because if there's no pace, the one has no chance. So, I think that is going to be the key to everything that happened. And boy, the one was 7-1 with like 5 minutes of post, and now is all the way down to the 2-1 favorite.
Well, you got to remember, there's about $50K a race in the win pool right now. Mm-hmm. And with 5 minutes to post, you're seeing about $5,000. So you're literally seeing 1/10 of the win pool in at that point. So I've been looking at the will pays all night, specifically in the doubles. I think that's the best way to see where the money's going to go. So if you're looking at betting daily doubles for the next race, or even placing a win bet, like I know a lot of people get frustrated when your horse walks in the gate at 5-1 and breaks at 5-2. A good way to tell if that's going to happen, especially tracks like Sam Houston, is to look at those will pays. You're going to be able to see who's going to be the favorite in the race.
Well, to that minute, look at it. The 1 is a heavy favorite in the double will pay. 1, 8. No, I'm sorry. He's not. The 7 is a favorite. You're right. 7, 1, 8, and 4 are the four favorites as far as the will pay go.
So it'll be interesting to see if the 7 takes some late money here to push down to favoritism before they actually take off.
I mean, I know we used the 7. I used the 7 as well. I don't think that is a deserving favorite, though.
Well, interestingly enough, the 8
like
is
to get
the
a little
favorite.
more value if I'm playing this.
8's the favorite on pick 3.
Oh my God! I just went nuts.
Yeah, but in the daily double, the 7 is the favorite.
Yep.
How about that?
Seven's 4-1 now.
Yeah, the 7 pays $16 for the double, and the 8 pays $21.60. But then in the pick 3, you're right. The 8 is paying $183.90, and the 7 is paying $214.60. So
somebody hammer the double. That's what that says. Someone played a big double with the 7 here.
And actually, let's see. The second choice in the pick 3s are the 4. Man, so it's a wide open race, is what it really says from an overall standpoint.
We got a couple people commenting on the 5 as well. Michael Myers here and Nick Sievers. I agree. The 5 actually does have a shot here. I just couldn't get that deep on my ticket. It's 13-1. It's a Broberg horse that's first time out with Raylu up. Like it makes sense.
Raylu, baby.
It's just tough to get that horse on the ticket if you want to spread out at all later. If you want to single the 5 in the last, I think that the 5 is the horse that at 13-1 could surprise some people.
When Raylu, I have to tell you a story about Raylu. When he first joined Twitter, he loved me. He would talk to me all the time. It's my boy.
What happened?
I don't know. He left Twitter. I guess he couldn't take when people were like, fuck you. Oh, sorry. F you, Raylu. You're right in the aqueduct fit was garbage, you know?
It's okay. It's late. We don't have an F-bomb rule on the late show.
It must be tough to be on Twitter and be a jockey. People come here dumbest
It's gonna be brutal, man.
I can't blame any jockey that just like, I was on Twitter for like a year and I just don't need that in my life. All right.
It's tough to be on Twitter, period.
There we go. Getting in the gate.
Are you gonna call these races for us, Slim?
Slim, who do you have in the pick 5?
I got like 100 horses and everything. I play like $150 in tickets. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted a bet.
I got the 4, 7, 8, 9 in mine.
I won my suicide pool in my brother's league. I had the
Survivor pool
last week. The Bucks came through, so I won some money in that. So I'm just like, all right, I'm rolling them into some pick 4s and some daily fantasy plays. So that's all.
I love it.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I have the 4 and the 8 in my pick 5.
Who has
Flower House and Good Fight. That's the horse I said. Those are the top 2 in the Prime Power and Brisnet. That's about all I could use. And I had the top 2 Brisnet speed figures in that last race also. So I went 4 and 8, but I also have other tickets with the 1, 7, and the 8 and the 9. 1, 7, 9. I have them on different ticket too.
All right,
so.
you got this call, Slim?
Coming in, they're off, and they're on the turf here. And this is a 1 and a 16th mile. And taking the lead is the 5. I just want to have fun. And to the outside, the 7 sets up shop. Holy Creed. But the 9.
There we go.
Now rushes up in his G's, a little crazy.
Okay.
Take the lead on the outside. And 3 wide into the turn. G is a little crazy, but he'll take. Is this Phillies or
Phillies?
Phillies.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll take a lead here. So I just want to have fun. That's up shop. In second, the
There's
7
nine's tripping.
Moving outside. Looks like the 8. The 8 is making a move, and that's my horse. Good fight. Good fight now. Second.
You're
So lead is
a better spot.
I was going to say the 1 has got the perfect trip. If just has any kick at all, he's saved all the ground. But
You got to get out. Yeah.
yeah.
The 9's still got something left.
Yep. I think the 9s might be tough to pass.
That'd be great. We'll take 7-1.
Yep. Here comes the 8 ranging up. And we haven't even mentioned the 5, but that 5's right there too. We got a lot of listeners like the 5.
I think the 5 cut the corner. Oh,
it's 7. We get a 7.
Good fight, and here comes the 7.
And then look at the 4.
Don't let the 1 through.
Oh, the 4 flying.
The
4
7.
Get up, 7.
Get up. See there, 8. See there, 8.
Gets it.
Wow. See there, 8.
That's all right.
8 got it right. That was my pick.
Yep.
Oh, that was the 8?
Alive and all.
Yeah.
Tickets.
Oh, shit, I thought that was the 5. We'll take the 8 all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the 8 was on the inside, right?
Yeah, 8 got it. 8 won.
Got it. It was
8.
8.
Yeah, I have the 8 on all my tickets. So I'm
There you
playing 3 tickets, and the 8 was on all my tickets. The 8 was the only horse I actually had on all 3 tickets, if you could believe that.
Another must use coming through, baby.
I believe.
All right.
Well, there you go. We are live.
Good start.
Live.
What was the 8's odds?
9-2. $11 winner.
Not bad.
Both tickets had it.
Beautiful. Good way to
All
start.
right.
Pick 4, and we move to the second game on the Sunday slate. The Rams at the Seahawks.
Oh, man. Well, I don't even do anything. Go for it, Slim.
Yeah, so I guess I'll jump in on this one, the Rams and the Seahawks. To me, guys, I think this is going to be a pretty good game, but is there a more boring game on the slate? I mean,
First game.
the Rams, I hate the Rams to death this year. I wish they would just go away. They're so inconsistent. You never know how they're going to play. Goff is a jackass most of the time, but sometimes he plays well. He's got thumb surgery. We don't even know if this guy's going to play or not. You know, the guy they had last week, he was all right, but he played my shitty ass Arizona Cardinals, so that doesn't really count. Listen, I think the Seahawks have underachieved all year, and that's kind of funny to say. They have a decent record, but they've sucked the last half of the year too. It kind of feels like a little bit of a sucker line, though. I think the Seahawks cover the -3, no problem, but it's almost like, is that too low? Does somebody know something that I don't? Which that's probably the case, but I can't go with the Rams. I hate the Rams this year, so I took Seattle here.
You know, Seattle is a frustrating team the Rams are a frustrating team because every once in a while they can jump in and their defense just steps up and they shut down really good offenses. They're so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle opened as a 5-point favorite in this spot. It's gotten bet down from there. So I agree with you, Aaron. It's interesting that they're all the way to -3. I was surprised they got to 3. I thought 3-5 would stick on the market. These two teams have played twice. Both games have been really ugly. Aaron, you described this as boring. I think specifically the first half under is the play here. You got a total of 21, which isn't huge, but last time they played it was 6-6. And if you think about it from just a game script style, if you're either team, okay, if you're the Rams, you're like, we're not letting Goff / Wofford, whoever ends up playing, lose the game for us. So we're gonna just try and make it into the fourth quarter in a close game. And if you're Seattle, you're like, we're not letting the LA Rams defense beat us, so we're not turning the ball over. And when you look at both of those styles, and you specifically look at how Seattle's played since Chris Carson came back, they're grinding, they're slowing the clock down. I think it's going to be hard pressed to get over 21 in the first half. I think that's a good play here. As far as the side, I'm pretty torn. I could go either way. I think this could end up being a pretty close game just because it's going to be so low scoring. But I think the under in the first half is where you want to put your money.
Yeah,
hey, Slim, your wife is watching, by the way. There you go.
What the hell's going on? I can't. I need to be more quiet. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that one.
Warning shots.
Right. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Not good. I got to watch what I do. Check it out. So, hi, guys. Oh, no. This is really bad. All right, so check it out.
Adams is
one guy I like in this game. I like the under in this game. I think the one guy I like is Cam Akers. He has 86 carries in his last 4 games. So he's getting the workload, and he's only valued at he's really low on FanDuel. So I don't know why. And he's also on DraftKings. He's also a low value. Like, he's the lowest valued full-time back out of all the running backs in both daily fantasy formats. So just for that reason, you got to use him. And Seattle is in the middle of the pack against the run. So he's the one guy. This game is going to go under. So I don't really like DK Metcalf going up against Jalen Ramsey. The Rams defense, I know Russell is sick, but last few weeks it just says they haven't been clicking like they did. I guess if you want to do a contrarian play, use Lockett, because no one's going to really use Lockett, and maybe Jalen Ramsey shuts down Metcalf, and Lockett got a good game going. And that's about it. I mean, Cooper Kupp's coming back from having COVID. So I guess if you want to play like coming back from COVID lineup, you could play him and Kamara, because he's also coming back. So like whatever, you could just go like a COVID lineup just for the spirit of the year.
Wait, look at the last 5 games for the Seahawks, and you're right. I mean, there was a time when I thought the Seahawks were our biggest threat when it comes to winning the Super Bowl. They were playing that well. So the last five weeks, I mean, they get beat by the Giants. Shout out to Slim. They beat up the Jets. Sorry, Slim. They barely beat the Washington football team. They beat the Rams in a preview to this, I guess, in a very, very unexciting game, as Halterman mentioned. And then they barely beat San Francisco. It's like they just haven't been, like, you're right, and the offense hasn't been clicking. Other than that Jets game, they have not scored over 26 points. They just have not put together. And now you're playing against a team that say whatever they are, whatever will be on the offensive side. I think that's going to be the detriment to the Rams ultimately, is whatever they put out on the offensive side. The defense will show up. I don't have any doubt. This is especially being a divisional game, but the spread is dicey for me. Like I playing this at -3 is tough. If I had to, I would. If I'm playing the, and I'm also thinking I think I might play the under at 42.
Yeah, the kitchen is closed, man. Russell Wilson is not allowed to cook anymore, and that really plays toward the under here, because like if I tell you Seattle scores 17, do you want over 42? I mean, that's the thing. It's you have to have 1, maybe 2 defensive scores to be able to get this total over. And it's possible because, like you said, you have Ramsey, you have Donald, you have Jamal Adams if he ends up playing. So you have these players that are going to blow it up. But from a coaching perspective, you have specific sides that don't want to lose the game by turning the ball over. There's going to be a lot of run plays. There's going to be a grinding the clock in this spot. So I like the first half under because things can get crazy in the second. But I think the under is the best play of the 4 options you have here on the sides and the totals in the full game.
Is there any chance, guys, that Seattle all of a sudden gets back to that form, so to speak, that they were early in the year once the playoffs get here? Like, they seem to be a team every year that has like a 6-game gap where they just dick around. They don't play very well. Listen, I'm with Jared. Early in the year, it's like, yeah, this is probably going to be the team that comes out of the NFC. And why has Russell Wilson just fallen off the planet? So I don't know. I don't really agree, Jared. I think if you're on the Seahawks, I think you take -3 and you smile. How much better can it get?
You gotta. I mean, Goff is not even at full strength. And if they have that backup, I don't like that backup. So
Goff with a broken hand almost covered this spread, though.
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. And if I agree with you, I think they let Russ cook maybe next week. This isn't the game you do that though. You don't let him, because if you turn, you don't lose this game if you don't turn the ball over.
Right.
Because then you force the LA defense or the LA offense to beat you. Because the LA defense, if they beat you, you got to say shame on us. We can't let that happen. So I really think you keep it under wraps here and you just try and win 14-10 even if you need to, 21-7. The goal is not to put up 35 here, because if you put up 35, the variance of the game increases, and I think a low variance game favors the Seahawks.
I will say I do think this is like the Seahawks very well. I mean, they are very well. I mean, Russell Wilson obviously very well tested when it comes to playoffs, the coaching. Obviously they've got the players. They are capable of kind of coming back to life, so to speak. But do you really need to in this game? If I'm playing, I could also see it being like a one possession game towards the end of the game. Like I don't. The -3 gets too sketchy for me, so I'd rather put the under if I'm playing a parlay. I'd rather throw in the under in there instead of playing the -3. But I get your point, Halterman. If you're on the or if you're on the Seahawks, just play them. Like if they're going to win, they're going to win. So for me, being a divisional game, I think it could be close again. So I'll go on. Let's go to the late game before how much time we have on the next race?
Got about 12 minutes, 14 minutes.
Yep. I got to update my sheet. Sorry.
All right, let's go to the final game. Slim, take it away, buddy.
The Bucs at the Washington football team is the night game in the nation's capital that has never seen a week like this.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
We talk about here Tom Brady, maybe his last playoff game. Who knows? We never know when he's going to retire. He just decides one day to do it. So I'll start there from a fantasy perspective. The Washington pass defense is not horrible. And as I think you guys said in the opening with your general statements, the Washington pass rush is sick. They got that guy. What's that dude's name?
Chase Young.
Chase Young is a monster.
Like maybe he might be a Hall of Famer, this guy. I mean, like, he looks amazing. Like, he looks like he's going to decimate the league for a long time. And he even was saying coming off the field, I want Brady. Like, this might be his last chance to ever be against him. Like, he might, be able to sack Brady a couple times. And Brady is not good under pressure. Some stat I heard that he's the worst quarterback under pressure. He has like a 39% pass completion rate under pressure. It's crazy. So he has the weapons, though, as you said. So I'm not big on using Brady in fantasy. I think other quarterbacks will outperform him. Josh Allen, I think Lamar Jackson, even Roethlisberger, I think is a better player than him in daily fantasy. But I love Antonio Brown. He looked like last week after Evans got hurt, he looked like the Antonio Brown you saw in the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's finally getting it with that offense, and he was just making plays. He's low priced in this, and I think he's going to continue. Even if Evans plays, and Evans had like the weirdest injury you've ever seen. He like dropped a touchdown and then got hurt on the play. It was like the dumbest play I've ever seen. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? It was so weird, and he just did not look good coming off the field. So even if he plays, he might be more of a decoy, and it's going to be all Godwin and Antonio Brown. But, just in daily fantasy, Godwin's priced a lot higher, and maybe Antonio Brown puts up similar stats for, $1,200 less or something on your DFS budget. I don't really like anyone on Washington. I just don't like the offense at all. I mean, Alex Smith, I don't know if he's even playing. Is he playing? Does anyone know? He probably will, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing.
He'll play.
To rotate quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're going to rotate quarterbacks. I never like that. That's never a good success. That's never a recipe for success. So, I mean, I guess J.D. McKissick's a good sleeper if you like a guy who catches a lot of passes and, he has a low, when they talk about it in fantasy circles, he has a low floor. He has a low floor because he's going to get, 4 or 5 catches probably, So he'll get his work. And McLaurin's a star in the making, but I just don't know if he has a good enough quarterback to, really explode in this game. We'll see. I mean, if you like McLaurin and, he's left amongst a bunch of other wide receivers there, you could throw him in 1 or 2 lineups just to have him if it blows up.
As a obviously a Chiefs fan and years and years of Alex Smith, I mean, this kind of game is tough. Yeah, maybe. Have I not said that before on the show?
No, I don't think you mentioned that.
I didn't mention much whenever I was an Alex Smith fan, or when Alex Smith was on the team, because it was tough, and these kind of games are tough. And obviously Alex does not bode well in his years, maybe in the regular season, not necessarily in the playoffs against Tom. So listen, I love the story of Alex Smith, and it's amazing that they're 7-9 and they're playing I guess, like whatever. But the Bucks should win this. -8 though. -8. -8 makes it interesting. I think I would play the -8. I just don't think Washington's good enough.
Yeah, I think the key to the game is the pass rush, and I think we've talked about that. I don't need to add any more to it, but you look, and it is a nightmare matchup for Brady a little bit when it comes to that. But yeah, listen, I kind of think it is going to be an ugly game. And I really just believe if Washington can just get in the high teens, low 20s, they're going to cover, because I do think they are going to hold Tampa Bay down. But yeah, listen, there's no part of me that thinks Washington can win the game, but there's a big part of me that thinks that 8 points is enough for them to cover here.
Yeah, gun to the head, I would take Washington -8. I'm sorry, I take the Bucks -8 out of the 4 possible options here. I think the best play is to tease the Bucks down to -2. I don't see how they don't win by a field goal here. I think that's the safest spot. The Bucks' biggest weakness is explosive pass plays. Alex Smith's biggest weakness is throwing the football down the field. So you're able to literally take away the biggest weakness in the Bucks.
So true.
By the ineptitude of Alex Smith's downfield ball. So the fact that you're not going to be able to stretch the field, you're going to have to dink and dunk and be able to go slowly down the field against a Bucks defense that's able to create turnovers, has very fast linebackers. I don't see how Washington gets past 17 points here without multiple defensive scores, which is possible with Chase Young. But I don't see how they're also able to keep the Bucks offense down. So I think -8 is the side if you want to really put a side in here. But to me, I think the Bucks -2 as a teaser leg is a great teaser leg here. I mentioned the Bills again. We're going to talk about the Steelers later. I think that 3-team teaser is a good 3-team teaser.
Are we all agreeing on as far as this is to talk about winning the game? I mean, moving on into the playoffs, no betting. Are we all Bills, Seahawks, Bucks?
Yep, I am.
I think the Rams could beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the one game on Saturday that the Seahawks they're not the old Seahawks for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they'll get it back to swagger. So that's the one game I could be on the fence about. But yeah, if you had a gun in my head, I'd pick the Seahawks. The other two, yeah. Washington Reds. I mean, I watched a lot of NFC East games this year because I watched every Giants game. Holy shit, that is a horrible division. Some of those games were so dreadful. And I was like, they'd be like 6-3 at the half, and I'd be like, what the hell is going on here? This game is like disgusting. They're punting and fumbling. I'm like, this is not even football. This is hard. So if Washington wins this game, I'll be very surprised. I think we have to idea though about teasing it. So that teasing it down to 2, a 6-point teaser. Yeah, they should definitely win by at least a field goal. Tampa Bay.
I think everyone needs to remember that, like, we've consistently seen. I'm not saying the Washington defensive line isn't very good. It is. But we've seen them against the Eagles last time on national television. They faced the Panthers the game before that. They faced the Seahawks the game before that. They faced the Steelers on a random Tuesday night with a depleted offensive line. They faced the Cowboys before that, the Bengals before that. None of those teams are good. I mean, and they all have bad offensive line. So, yes, we've seen Washington's defensive line dominate, but I think there's a little recency bias. Let's not forget that Philadelphia literally had to throw the game and take out their starting quarterback just so Washington was able to beat them. Like that legit happened. So yep. Let's take a step back and not completely live in that moment. And let's say, okay, how have the Bucs been as an overall product versus how has Washington been as an overall product? The Bucs offensive line is the best offensive line they'll face in the last 6 weeks. And the Bucs offense has more weapons than any offense they've faced in the last 6 weeks. So I do think that this Washington defense is very good. Their offensive line or defensive line is probably top 5 in the league. But they have also been facing very weak offensive lines. I think we have to keep that in mind.
I think, by the way, I really do think Chase Young is like, I think I text Halterman every single week. I'm like, this dude is a monster. Like this guy, it's almost like he's playing, you know how like there's always those couple of guys, usually it seems like they play for Alabama or something where it's like, these guys are like, they're playing college, but they're already NFL ready and they're playing against other college kids. That's what Chase Young looks like in the NFL. Like he's already overpowering these guys. He's just a beast. Like as long as he stays healthy, I don't see how he doesn't end up in the Hall of Fame, like Slim mentioned. 7 minutes to post. Do you guys want to do the first one on Sunday, or what do you want to do?
Ravens Titans. How fast do you think we can go?
No. Let's not do that. You know why? Because I'm a guy of symmetry.
Okay.
Okay, let's.
You want to do 2 in between each race?
No. This is not even. This is how symmetrical I am because the horse's name's Algebra. It's coming up. But think of this, right?
Oh my gosh.
There's 2 days of games, and there's 4 races. So in the first 2 races, we cover the first day. In the last 2 races, we cover the second day.
That's fair. That's fair.
A genius.
Oh boy! On that note, I'm getting a drink. You boys keep it going.
Yeah, in case you joined us late here, you can play the back half of this sucker. We still have 3 races left. If you want to play the $1 pick 3, Sam Houston, one of the best tracks for takeout. I mentioned it early on the show. I'm going to mention it again. I mentioned it on the Magic Mike show. We're going to hammer this point home. 12% takeout on the daily doubles, the pick 3s, the pick 4s, the pick 5s. We've got a mandatory payout on the Space 6 carryover tomorrow. So we'll see a mandatory payout in the pick 6. And then starting next Thursday, we'll have a 50 cent, 12% takeout pick 6. Just straight. No jackpot.
That works for the damn track.
Look, man, I have been hammering the point that we vote with our dollar as bettors. And this is the one track that lists it. Everyone else is like they have one pick 5 that's 10% or 12% or 11%. No one does it. Daily double, pick 3, pick 4, pick 5. I appreciate that because that is what, like, you if you do the math, you get so much more value for your dollar bet when you're playing 12% takeout versus 18 or 24% takeout. Like Santa Anita's 23% takeout in the late pick 4. This is 12%. Literally doubled. It's massive.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You see a lot of favorites win these sequences a lot of times, and they still pay well, and that's because exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's definitely the best value in horse racing. There's no doubt about it. It's sad that the best value in horse racing runs at 11 o'clock at night, but it is what it is, right?
As someone with a 2-year-old, it's kind of great.
I hope you guys, if you're home during the pandemic. And I could watch these horses, and I actually know some of these horses. Like Impact Player was on one of the races. Impact Player, I don't know. Maybe I was looking at tomorrow's card. There was a horse Asmussen called Impact Player. He was like a big horse in the Pletcher Barn on the Derby Trail, and he got hurt. And now he's running at this fucking place. So
there's a backward horse tomorrow. Where is it? Aaron, filibuster.
Filibuster. What do you mean?
Let me talk while I find which horse this is.
Oh, there's a horse running tomorrow for Asmussen as well. Laughing Fox, who ran in some big races as 3-year-olds.
He was really big. He placed in a big race.
Yeah. Well, he won the Oaklawn Invitational on Kentucky Derby Day. That got him into the Preakness. Yeah.
Was that our first Derby when he won it?
Yeah. Yes, that absolutely was. Yeah.
Justify one.
Can we talk about real quick a horse tomorrow? What do you guys think of this?
Yeah.
So there's a horse named Bear Bryan who's running in the 7th race. It starts off the pick 4 tomorrow at Sam Houston. Mm-hmm. It's an Asmussen horse bought by Stone Street for $300,000. This is a son of Tiz Now out of a Super Saber mare, debuting in a 36K maiden special weight at Sam Houston, who started working out at Keeneland, then tried once on the turf, immediately took him off, then went to Fairgrounds, then went to Louisiana Downs, and now is debuting at Sam Houston. Fade or play?
Fade. Hard. Hard fade. When you see Samich tweeting about, hey, this is how we got to fade the Asmussens and when we got to play the Asmussens, when you see that, it is a hard fade every time. They do not run a step. And that's what's going to happen. I think I have that horse 5th in that race. So, and it's not because it's a great race. Yeah, that is the type you fade hard. He's done that a lot. You'll see it with Oaklawn. He'll have a string of Oaklawn works. And then, like you said, for whatever reason, it's one at Louisiana Downs, and then boom, there they go right to Sam Houston, and they finish 8th. So
I mentioned on the Magic Mike show, it's like in baseball, you have A, AA, AAA, and the majors. Uh-huh. Like Chad Brown, Pletcher, and Asmussen have these their A string, and then their B string, their C string, their D string. He's literally going down the ladder, not going up the ladder from the barn that the Asmussen barn ladder. He's going down it, and you don't want to see him at the bottom rung when it's a $300,000 Stone Street horse. It's not a good sign. It reminds me of World. Do you remember World?
Yep.
At Will Rogers, that was a $600,000 horse or something that got claimed for $5,000 eventually. $5,000 maiden claimer.
Yeah, I had a horse. I think that was 2 years ago named Elvis, and I think they paid like $1 million for.
Oh my God, Elvis.
Yeah, yeah, Patrick drafted him in the league.
Did, yeah.
And he was working out steady at Oakland. 3 times at Louisiana Downs. We're all like, what the hell? Shows up at Sam Houston and I think beat 1 horse in a 7-horse field. Yeah, just awful. Like he ran like his legs were tied into pretzels. Like he could barely move. But yeah, it's crazy. And with Asmussen, he has like a Z team even because he has so many horses. And that's what runs at Sam Houston, his Z team. So yeah, definitely fade that horse tomorrow.
And it'll take money too. 3-1 morning line. I would be shocked if it goes off at 3-1. I bet it goes off closer to 2-1, maybe even 7-8-5, somewhere in there.
I agree because they see Asmussen, they see the connections, they see the purchase price, they see the owner, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, this horse must be able to run. They never can run.
How would you like to have a $1 million horse that can't win, can't even be horses at some of the smaller tracks in America?
I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like that at all.
Oh, jeez.
That would be a downer.
That would be bad. Yeah.
Would you rather have that, or would you rather play a parlay Colts Washington football team tomorrow?
Oh, the Colts Washington football team.
Honestly, I'd rather have the $1 million horse because it means I could buy $1 million horse. There's some upside in just owning it.
Yeah. If you could buy $1 million horse, chances are you're going to be fine after the horse.
I afford it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
fair.
fair.
Are you cool with me doing the call of this race?
Yep.
You ready, Slim? You've been studying?
Oh, yeah, I know all the colors, all the silks.
This is a pivotal moment in the pick 4 if you're live and you have somebody other than the 1, because if we can, like for us example, you get the 5 or the 8 home here, we're looking at a balloon because the 1 is such a heavy favorite.
158, baby.
Yep.
Everything starts to pay if you can get the 5 or the 8 home here. The pick 5.
Yeah. Well, the 5 is 4-1. Jeez, the 8 is 4-1. He's the second choice, but yeah, 3-5 on these. Is this Broberg got the entry?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And both showed up.
Better than every other horse. I want my horse Algebra.
The 5, Rock the Devil. Why are these suckers?
All right, well, yeah, he could get out there. There's some other horses. They all got a good speed. All right. They're getting in the gates for the 8th race on the opening night. Sam Houston Race Park. Race Park?
It's got to be nice to know, Slim, that you always know you'll have a job in race calling if you ever need it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. And I don't even study.
Oh, you don't? I'm
just looking at the names on the screen. I have my Brisnet PPs open. Yeah, early speed here. No Fox could get out.
5's taking lead money.
Mm-hmm. Down to 9-1.
All these blinkers off viewers, man, just hammering the 5.
Yeah, that's
we just said it. Yeah, I think that's somebody's going crazy in the gate, like just popping his head up and down. I think it might be the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5 or 6. Right?
Yeah.
I
think it's 6.
I think it might be the 6.
There.
Yeah, that horse that was doing that did not get off to a good start to 6. And the 1A, Best Little Man, strikes the early lead here on the inside. The 3 is moving up. That's Daryl's Little Diablo. And Daryl's Little Diablo will set the pace, and setting up shot to the outside is True Saint. The 5 makes a move to the inside. Rock the Devil. And Rock the Devil is making an early move. It might be what we need here to break through. Samich was talking about Rock the Devil.
5, wait no more.
In the 5, Rock the Devil is now pressing the pace.
Oh, no. 3's putting him away, though.
Is the 8 is out
there. 8 can circle them all, though.
8 looks really good.
8 looks strong.
Yeah, looking very good, and those are the 2 horses we really need. The 8,
Come on, 8.
A big move, and that's Algebra. Algebra strikes. The 8 is in the lead, and Algebra is bearing down, and on the inside, the 3 is dying out. Up the rail is the 5, but Algebra looks like he might have enough. The 2 is in second, and Algebra, they're going to the whip. But Algebra, the number 8, is going to win it in a big ticket hit for the Slim. Got both picks in the first 2 legs of the pick third.
You didn't have. I was waiting for the solves the equation or solves race 8 or something there, Slim. Come on. Ace of the test. We got a lot of angles you could have gone with.
Algebra ace the test. Oh my god. Sorry.
Oh, that was good.
That was fantastic.
When I do my race calls, though, I just root for my ticket. So that's the problem.
No, I've never heard that before, Slim. Never.
No way, Slim. Is that what happens?
I always feel like they're very unbiased. The distaff call you did at the Breeders' Cup, you were more excited about that Pletcher horse finishing second than Montgomery winning the damn race.
Oh, man. I love
that. Slim, are you live with Big 5 still?
Oh, yeah, baby. I had to eat on all my tickets.
So here's the sequence for you. You had a heavy Asmussen favorite, a heavy Broberg. We have another heavy Broberg. We have another heavy Asmussen. We've beaten 2 of them, so we're in really, really good shape. They weren't balloon prices. They weren't double-digit prices. At the same time, they're going to pay like it. So that was big. That one especially was big.
Even money favorites going down eliminates the singles. And when you have horses in these fields with these field sizes, you're going to see those horses, like the ones here was probably singled on close to 40% of the tickets. So you just knocked out 40% of the tickets. And I deserve a goddamn Emmy for being able to just break through this Slim and not even worry about it and keep talking.
That's what I'm talking about. Algebra. Aces the test.
You listen to Blinkers Off after 10 o'clock Central Time, and guess what? Shit, just you don't know what you're gonna get here. It's late. It's late up there on the East Coast for these guys. So
long week.
I can barely breathe over here. That was so freaking funny. Wow.
All right. Well, let's get back to football. What do you say? We are live. Let's get back to some football, Slim. It's your call.
Sunday slate in the NFL. This is a very interesting situation because in the first time in NFL history, we have 3 wildcard games on each of the days. They've never done this before. We needed this more than ever. The pandemic, the insurrection, wildcard weekend, baby. As we go into day 2, and the early game is the Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. And this could actually be a sneaky high scoring game. I think, I don't know what the over is, 54.5. Yeah, there might be a lot of scoring in this game is one of the things that I would look for here. I'm all over Lamar Jackson. Overall, the most expensive quarterback in fantasy football, but he's going to get it done. The Tennessee Titans are good against rushing quarterbacks, but not good against the pass. They have the 29th best pass defense in yardage allowed and last in passing touchdowns allowed. So I just think the Titans are going to get chewed up by Lamar Jackson. Hollywood Brown should burn them. He's a good play. And a really sneaky play, one of my boomer bust guys is Miles Boykins. Boykin? Are you Boykin her? I think that's his name. Are you Boykin her? It's Miles Boykin.
He's Boykin her for Miles.
Keeper play in that matchup. He might have a big play. Dobbins, they have a bad run defense too. So I just think all the Ravens guys. I know
jaw is hurting from that.
Use all your Ravens guys. My number one play on the Ravens, actually, I haven't even talked about, is Mark Andrews. He's the highest priced tight end this week with your boy Kelsey on bye, but he has the best. He has the highest floor of any tight end. I have a stat here. He he's posted 60-plus yards in 5 of his last 6 games. I mean, he's going to have 5 catches for 60 yards or something. That's his bottom. And if he has a touchdown, he could have 2. So, he's so much better than the other tight ends that are playing this week that you have to use him on your lineups. He has to pretty much be in all your lineups. And, Tannehill – and I just don't. I mean, Tannehill's been awesome, and obviously Derrick Henry's been awesome. AJ Brown's been awesome. Those 3 guys are those 2 guys. I won't say Tannehill's a stud. I'll never say that in my life, but obviously Derrick Henry and AJ Brown are studs, but I don't think I'm going to use a lot of those guys. I think I'm just going to stick with the Baltimore guys on this side on my lineups. It's just because Derrick Henry is so expensive. It's like if you get Derrick Henry in your lineup in daily fantasy, it's like you have to burn so much money just to have him.
I think these are the two teams that the public are going to jump on as far as whoever wins this game, because they kind of have those star players, right? You touched on Lamar and then Derrick Henry, and people love to bet those kind of teams that have these studs. I think both of these teams are flawed, and I think it comes on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Tennessee Titans defense is horrendous. I mean, I think it's pathetic. And so I think that's going to be a really bad matchup for the Ravens coming in, they've got momentum, no doubt about it. But let's talk about the Ravens for a second. How dressed up are the Ravens, right? They have played shit the last 4 weeks. And the one team that they beat that was decent was the Browns, and the Browns really aren't that good either. So I think the Ravens are pretty dressed up. I think this game is just going to be a shootout. Who has the ball last wins. The Ravens defense isn't great either. They had trouble. This is a rematch. The Tennessee beat the Ravens at Baltimore in overtime in the regular season, and they couldn't stop Derrick Henry. Probably going to happen again, but I think the Ravens are playing a little better coming into this game. Yeah, I'm on the Ravens. I think they're going to win a pretty close one. I'm just interested in betting the over here. I don't want any part of the +3, -3. I just want the over because it's a toss-up game. It could go either way. So definitely over 54.5 for me. I think this will be the most entertaining game of the 6 because we're going to see a lot of scoring and a lot of big-time playmakers. To kind of kick it into a horse racing term, I don't want either of these teams next time out. I think they're going to get their ass kicked by whoever they play next time out. But Ravens for me, if I had to pick, but definitely the over is where I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm going to lean on Halterman here. I'm going to go with over first half.
Lean on me, baby.
I'm a little concerned one of the teams might put up a shitload of points and get up and then slow the pace down, because if either gets up, they will run a lot in the second half, which could hurt your total. The first half total is 26.5. I don't see how there aren't 4 touchdowns in this first half. I also like anytime touchdown scorer Ryan Tannehill. If you watched last week against Houston, every time they were in the red zone, they faked the handoff to Henry and Tannehill ran. I expect them to do that again, because I agree Baltimore's going to load the box to try and stop Henry. And if they do that, Tannehill has the legs to be able to scramble and run. So first touchdown Ryan Tannehill, anytime touchdown Ryan Tannehill, first half over, I think are all solid bets. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm actually a little scared of the Ravens. This is the one team I don't want to play, because I think that Mahomes is very good against the blitz. Baltimore blitzes a lot. As much as Lamar has not been great in the playoffs, and I totally get that, they've been down every time he's been in the playoffs. If they ever get ahead in a playoff game and Lamar's your quarterback, it's a completely different team, and they could be trouble. Kansas City started slow both times last year. If they start slow against Baltimore, I think that could be a problem. So this would be the one team I wouldn't want to play. As far as the sides, I think this is tough, man. I don't really want either side. 3 isn't enough points with a 54-point spread for me to lean toward the Titans. I'm not sure who's going to win this game. I agree with Aaron. I like the over. And like I said, I like Tannehill and Lamar rushing totals over, and I like Tannehill anytime touchdown.
I was going to say that my best bet of the weekend was the over 54.5, but it changed while Samich, because of course, this is why Samich is awesome. I think it's better for the first half total. That total might be the best bet of the weekend, because I just don't see how that's possible. What did you say it was 24.5?
26.5.
26.5?
Yeah.
There's no way. I think this game, like like you say, that feels safer because both teams are very capable of running the ball.
It could be 27.5, and then they don't get to the 54.5, but they do get that first half total.
And as far as
firing, both teams will come out firing.
When you predict a winner here, both teams are 11-5. Both teams, if you want to look at their past game, the Ravens look hot coming into here, but like Halterman said, they've beaten garbage, and really the same can be said for Tennessee too. But they both can score points, so I think that's, to me, is a bigger bet. Playing either way is going to be tough. As far as moving forward, like you say, the one thing that scares me with the Ravens, and Halterman disagrees, but they do scare me a little bit as well, but more so because they are the underdog this year. They're the no one cares.
No one believes in us.
And anytime you look in years past when the Ravens have made runs or won the Super Bowl, it's when they're not, they make a run into the playoffs. So to me, they've got the kind of the recipe right now to make a run. I just, yeah, if you listen to Blinkers Off, you know how Hawthorne I feel about Lamar.
Listen, I think if Lamar comes out and plays a really good game and they beat Tennessee on Sunday, I actually think they won't be the sneaky underdog coming under the radar team. I think people love to fall in love with the Ravens. They love to fall in love with teams that score a lot of points. Listen, I just think they're way overrated. I mean, you look at how bad they were playing, right? And then they come into Cleveland and they beat them. And again, I'm a huge Cleveland Browns fan, and I'm telling you, that's not that big of a deal. And then they played some of the worst competition that you're going to see in the entire NFL to close out the season. I think they're really, really dressed up. I mean, in a big, big way. And if I had any confidence in the Tennessee Titan defense, I would pick Tennessee in this game. But they are so horrendously bad on defense that it's like, well, this is a horrid matchup for them. And I do think, like I said, Baltimore is playing better than they were the last time they played Tennessee. But yeah, listen, if I'm a Chiefs fan, and I'm definitely not, but if I was, I would not lose any sleep over playing one of these two teams next week. Not a wink of sleep.
We don't want you. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. I wouldn't. Even if you wanted me, I wouldn't. I have more restraint than your Tinder girls, okay? I can say no.
Did you see that redhead that was on the screen earlier? That's what
I did.
Okay. Do you want to do the next game, Slim? I don't want to get out of your
You're the host of the show, so
really, Slim? Yes.
Clearly I'm not. So
you can host it. You can do the next one.
No, I love it. You do it.
Oh.
Bears Saints, you go.
As we move along,
it's on the bottom of the screen, please.
Of the Super Sunday wild card action, the Bears at the Saints. Will this be Drew Brees' last game? We don't know. Anytime these guys can retire. They get two guys back, the Saints, right? So Bears at Saints. This is probably about the 4:00 game on, I don't even know, on Sunday, right?
Again.
Well, look at your screen.
440. Wow.
There
Jeez,
you go.
you got really good. Man, I should really pay attention what the hell's going on here. I'm looking at, I have 4 screens, I have 5 screens. I'm doing a lot here. Yeah, I mean, Michael Thomas and Kamara are both back for this team. So that's really important from an offensive perspective. You know, I just hope they stop using that Taysom Hill guy. So annoying with him. Like, he's not good. Is he? Like, he had one good game when he stood in for Breeze, but like, it gets so annoying. Why did they just let Breeze do his thing? And like, they let this guy run. And I don't know if he's good. Is he good?
No, he's not.
No. I feel like they overused him way too. And I don't feel like Kamara is as good, like is utilized as well when they have with Taysom Hill in there.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. Kamara is like a disaster, and he's just a complete killer. I mean, why he had 6 touchdowns in one game? It was insane. So obviously, I'm all over Kamara. If he gets back, is he told? I think he hasn't been activated, but I guess it doesn't really matter because the game is on Sunday. So we'll know he'll be activated. I'm sure he'll be off the COVID list, and I'm sure he'll destroy anybody in front of him. So I like Kamara as a daily fantasy use because he's a lot cheaper than Derrick Henry, and I think he could put up, as good a stats as him. So Kamara, I mean, Michael Thomas coming back, I don't love it. He's just been injured the whole season. But, if you want to go for it, he's actually priced pretty decently because he's been out for so long that you could get him at, I don't know, he's the 5th or 6th wide receiver in these formats now. So he's obviously the number 1 receiver for the last 4 years. But so, if he comes back and he's 80% of Michael Thomas, that would be pretty good value. I guess David Montgomery is my favorite Bear to use. I don't really like the Bears. I don't know. I can't get so excited about the Bears. The Saints defense is better this year. And the one other tight end I would use just to have another tight end, I've been talking, not on the Bears, go back to the Saints. I said Mark Andrews you got to use in all your lineups, but Jared Cook, the Bears are one of the worst defenses against tight ends. And he's just like, I don't know if you could bet on this, like Jared Cook to have 2 touchdowns, like if you could get 10, 15, 20 to 1 on that or something, maybe 50 to 1, like that would be a bet I would take. Like Jared Cook to have 2 touchdowns because he's just like one of these guys that gets like stupid 2 touchdown games. And if the Bears are one of the worst defenses, maybe he'll hook it up.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about this game. I just think the Bears suck, and the Cardinals and really Cliff Kingsbury should just be shot that it's not the Cardinals that are in this game. It's the Saints. I mean, to let the Bears get in is ridiculous. This is going to be if the Saints don't blow them out, I'll be shocked. I really will. And I agree. When you have Drew Brees, just let him play quarterback. It's really not that complicated, and forget about all the other stuff. With Taysom Hill, I don't know. I think Taysom Hill is secretly Sean Payton's son, or he has naked pictures that are expose Sean Payton for something bad, because that's the only. I mean, he's not any good. Even when they bring him in to run, he's not any good. Like the plays, he'll fumble or they'll lose yards. I mean, I just don't get it. But yeah, Saints easy here. I hate the Bears. Not as a franchise, just as this team, I hate them. And I hate their quarterback, and I really, I just think it should be a blowout.
Well, okay. Honestly, I'll make it short and sweet. The Saints lose this game. It's one of the bigger upsets in NFL wild card, at least recent history. There's no way they should lose this game. Saints should win.
Yeah, I remember we said that when they faced Seattle up in Seattle, and Lynch did the whole, earthquake run. I mean, it seems like the Saints lose these games every now and then. I'm not confident in them laying 10. I could see a world where they're up 14 in the fourth quarter and there's a backdoor touchdown. I can see a world where this game is way too close and it's, they score late to go up 7 and don't cover the 10. I don't like laying the points here. I think the under is probably a good play. I think you have 2 pretty good defenses here. The Saints defense has improved quite a bit, specifically their cornerbacks in the last last half of the season. So I think that 47 is a little bit too high. I also think you have the factor where if the Saints do blow them out, they just start running the ball and they're able to just grind clock in the second half. So if the Saints are up big, I like the under in the second half. If I like the under for the game here, I don't trust the Saints even a little bit. And I like, look, the Bills, everyone talks about this resurgence. Well, they beat the Texans, the Vikings, and the Jaguars. Like, congratulations, guys. And then you got blown out by the Packers when they really didn't even need to win. Like, so I don't think the last 4 games have been a great story for the Bears. And specifically, Trubisky's QBR, I thought this was interesting, was in the bottom third of the league during that 4-game stretch. So even with them winning, his QBR has been terrible over that stretch. So, I mean, I don't trust the Bears, but, man, I don't trust the Saints either. And I could see this just being a sloppy, ugly game. So give me the under, and I'm going to pass. I do like Kamara over receiving yards. I do think you could see a little check down Charlie here from Breeze, and you could see Kamara getting 5-6 catches for 40, 50 yards and going over the total there.
Dude, Kamara has had a hell of a year. 16 touchdowns rushing, 5 touchdowns receiving. I mean, this is insane.
If you look at the receiving numbers without Taysom Hill in, too, because Taysom started like 4 or 5 games in that stretch, he was catching 6-7 balls for 70 yards every single game Breeze was in early when Thomas was out. And then even when Thomas returned to the lineup, he was still getting those yards and those catches. So that's why I kind of lean with Breeze in. Kamara gets catches because Breeze checks down. He loves running those screens. And a lot of times on 3rd and 20, you get a 15-yard Kamara screen, which is great if you play over Kamara receiving. It means absolutely nothing in the game.
Yeah, trust me. I felt it really, really hard all year in my fantasy team. When I needed Kamara most, Taysom Hill was running the fucking ball. So
the guy in my league that has Kamara won it. I mean, Kamara was such a beast this year.
He was amazing finals week. It's tough to lose if you had Kamara finals week. Yeah,
no, it was over. It was so sad. I mean, like, I felt bad for the guy who got second because it was like you were crushed the first day. It was like, oh man, you have nothing to look forward to on Sunday. It was like, how can I win? The guy had 58 points.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
All right, let's move on to the race 9 at Sam Houston.
Yeah,
so
okay. Minutes to post so we could talk about the Sam Houston. This is a 11 horse field here, so I got a bunch of horses. I got 167 on 2 tickets, and I got the 167 on the 3rd ticket with the 4 and the 10. So we're 5 deep on the community ticket here. 1, 4, 6, 7, 10. Yeah, and I have 167. The Solomage ticket has 167 in this race. And my pick 5 that I started off was also 167. So I'll let Aaron talk about this race because he obviously knows a lot more about this than I do.
Yeah, Sam Houston, and again, I touched on it the last time we talked about it. It's okay, Broberg, Asmussen, let's beat him, let's play him. This is one, it's a deep field. There's, on paper at least, I think there's going to be a lot of speed. I kind of thought definitely Soap Bubble, the horse you picked, Slim, was the one to beat, but I thought you could beat him with the 4 horse for Austin Gustafson. I mean, and like I said, this horse or this guy is just a different trainer than what Jared and I knew way back this time last year. And I think at this level, it's a perfect spot. This horse won twice at Remington at that meet, went to Fairgrounds, got beat, but probably should get beat at Fairgrounds, right? This is a much tougher track, Fairgrounds, than Remington. Back at Sam Houston, I think the class level is perfect for this horse tonight. And look, I think, like I said, a lot of pace. I understand Broberg should be the favorite here. I think one big thing to point out about the Broberg horse here compared to the last race, he had a coupled entry last time. He kept them both in. Couple entry this time, he scratches one. So that tells me that he really likes Soap Bubble here. So the 1 and the 4, those are my 2 strong plays. And if that pace falls apart, I think the 4 is going to play a big factor.
Yeah, the 1A is a classic. Why run 2 and 1 will do. And this is one that he claimed last time out. So this is first off a claim. You have to assume he's pretty confident here because Hoboken was not a slouch, the horse he scratched out of. I mean, if you uncoupled this entry, you'd probably have the first and the third favorite. So the fact that he took out the third favorite from the race to leave the 1A in, I think says a lot about that horse. I had the 4 horse as a deep ticket horse. I agree with you on the 4, and Jared even included the 10 here, who was 15-1 morning line. I had him as a deep ticket as well. I think both of those have a shot. I thought the 6 and the 7 were really interesting. Those are the other 2 horses I ended up using. Eternal Force, the 6 horse. Ron Marquette does not have many horses at Sam Houston right now. And the fact that this horse shows up here and has run really well. I mean, you look 2 back, at Indiana Grand, he lost the rider. Don't worry about that race. Comes back the next time out, runs a good 5.5 furlong race, getting 61 buyer. But if you look at what he was doing before the layoff, everything was Oaklawn Park and Churchill Downs. Those tracks are exponentially better than what he's going to be facing today. So I like the back numbers for there. And you get Raylo Gutierrez up, who's a work jockey I want to play early in this meet because I think you're going to get some value early, and that will kind of get beat up a little bit late. The 7 horse Midnight War, it's one of those horses where I feel like this is going to be the horse that trips out. He's going to sit right behind the speed, and if it falls apart, I think the 7 has a good chance as anyone for picking up the pieces. This is a 4-year-old, early in the 4-year-old season, that has just been running a little bit better every time. And you still have a 68 buyer back in the 3-year-old season. If we can improve off that, this horse fits, and he's been running 64, 65, 66 lately. So I like the price on the 7. I think the 6 is a really interesting horse for Marquette here, but I agree. The 1A is the horse to beat, and it's going to be interesting to see if someone can get the job done.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you said, especially about the Marquette horse. I think that the 6 really makes a lot of sense here. This is a horse that, I guess I should say, this is a trainer that doesn't ship a lot to Remington, doesn't ship a lot to Sam Houston, Lone Star, places like that. But when he does show up, they usually run pretty well. We're used to seeing Marquette at Oaklawn, Churchill, sometimes Saratoga, Keeneland, that kind of thing. So, but it's not an Asmussen situation where he has several strings of horses. He's just got one barn basically with 30, 40 horses, and he's just trying to find spots. And I think he's found a decent spot for the 6. So I definitely believe you're onto something with him. And again, it's just the big key is you have to play the 1A here. You just have to, but man, we've got shots here to beat him. And there are a lot of intriguing horses you can go with. So it's kind of almost hey, let's hope the 1A just doesn't have it today. Maybe he doesn't get out of the gate very well, and we can get lucky with a lot of these.
Let's get this 10 home. What do you say?
I'm alive to the 167 in the pick 5, so I'm a little biased.
Okay. Okay. 6. Let's get the 6. 6 or 7 is fine. That's fine.
The fact of the matter is, and Aaron mentioned this last time, and I talked about this on top of the show, it's who you beat, not who you have. Because like these pools are not as big as Del Mar. These pools are not as big as a place like even, Gulfstream Park or, Santa Anita. These pools are 50,000, 100,000. You're knocking out a mass majority of the tickets when you beat obvious singles, when you beat these high profile trainers that have 3 to 5 horses. We did that last race. If we can beat this one horse now who's even money right now, and we have 4 shots at it, if we can do that back-to-back races, this thing just piles up because you're knocking out everyone's singles. And that's the key. It's the small tickets that were $30, that were $15, that were $24. You're taking out their singles. There's no way a $24 ticket can get live with both the entry losing last race and the 1A this race.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's the key to these multi races. A lot of times that strategy and that way of looking at it and kind of the betting psychology behind it is more than half the battle. And that's kind of how we tried to set this up. So I wouldn't really say we've gotten lucky in the first 2 races. I think the horses that were the best horses that won. Now I think we need some luck.
Well, and to this point, like, why not single the 1 and go heavy? You can. I don't think that the 1 is even money in this spot. I think the 1 is closer to 5-2. And I don't want to go crazy and try and single, especially when I can be contrarian and get exponentially higher. You know, the 6 is 5-1. In multi-race sequences, I bet he pays closer to 8-10-1. And so if I'm playing the 6, I'm getting 8-10-1 implied odds. Or if I'm playing the 1, I'm getting even money instead of applied odds that are going to be significantly less than that. So you have to be very careful when you're hammering the favorite if you're not 100% sure that favorite's going to win. And I think this is already an overpriced favorite.
I think another interesting.
We got Soul Bubble and we got Gun Rapper. We're good to go.
I think another interesting point on the question there. I would have liked on the go heavy question. You kind of need one other horse in the 4 race sequence that you can rely on too, and I don't think we had that. So I think another thing at Sam Houston. You know, they're low level horses. You know, if you've got American Pharoah running in the 9th race tonight, it's a lot easier to rely on a horse like that.
American Pharoah's running this race. He's out of retirement.
He'd win.
He'd win.
He would win. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, he's running a 5.5 furlong sprint. Are you joking me? Crazy.
All right.
He hasn't run it. American Pharoah hasn't run at this distance since his loss to Ohm in his maiden debut race. All right, here we go. And they're in the gate for race number 9 at Sam Houston Race Park on opening night. For this 5.5 furlong.
Let's just be live.
I think the outside horse is getting in the gate.
Do you guys see the big 3 payouts?
One was getting in the number 11 Gospel Ike getting in the gate.
$1,000 to the 10.
Oh,
For the pick 3 to start this pick 4.
Oh, you have a pick 3 going?
No, I'm just saying how much the pick 4 would pay. We have $1,000 pick 3 in the first 3 races with the 10.
The 10 got off well. No, the 11 got off well, and a lot of horses broke well there. The 2 looks like to get the lead in the inside. That's Runaway Wind. And the 5 sets up shop at the outside, Uncorked Humor. I don't have either one of those horses.
It's okay. We got the 7.
yeah.
We got the 7. 7 set outside, Midnight War sets up shop. And it looks like the 10. Gum Rapper. We've been talking about Gum Rapper for a while. Is in 4th. But the 2 down on each side and 5. Gum Rapper sets up shop.
That horse looks good.
Moquette's horse, the number 6, looks to have a little bit of horse as around the turn. He'll be the one.
Oh, come on, 10.
Come on,
10.
Why not a price?
Come
Why
on,
not a
10.
price,
Come
baby?
on.
Come on,
Finish the race.
Not the 3. Just not the 3.
He's got it. 10's
Here we
got
go,
it.
baby.
A little way.
Rapper.
Go,
And we
baby.
got Gum Rapper home on the ticket.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm down to my other tickets, but this pick will be huge.
That's a $1,000 pick 3 in the first
Anybody
3
ready
races,
to
folks.
sweat for 30
Oh
minutes?
my God.
Because we're live for the big one now.
$1,000 for the pick 3.
We're only allowed 2 horses in the last leg, though.
That's my golden sense pick right there, baby.
That was huge.
He was a winner. He was a winner with like almost a whole furlong left. I mean,
Yep.
like we knew at the top of the stretch on which he was going to win.
You know, the pick 6 might not carry to tomorrow. There might be a single ticket live here. Like
That's
this
a
is
really great point. After that horse just won, yep.
Hey, we're very few people that have
Choose
that yet.
on the morning line. When you're playing multi-race bets, the morning line is more important, obviously.
We're also very close to sweeping this card on the grid.
Don't say that. You're only allowed
2 and 5.
I was alive in the 2-3. If the 3 wins, though, I'd be really angry because we had the 3 on our other 2 tickets, Samich, and we don't have them on the group ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm my ticket is out, which is not because I didn't go deep enough here, but I don't even care, man. We'll take that all day. Let's get this thing. Let's get it home.
Huge ticket. Ray Lou is on the 3, which would really piss me off too. Oh man, because we had the 2-3-5, but on this community ticket we don't have the 3.
Listen, Slim, the bad vibes. I need him to stop.
Yeah.
Now.
All you're talking is negative things happening right now. We just got this 10 home at 18-1, dude.
You know, I'm always on to the next leg, though. I want to see the payout. Obviously, that's 2-5. It'll be very nice.
We're talking. I bet that it pays.
The pick 4.
The pick 4 probably pays $3,500 to the 5
for 50 cents.
Yeah,
I think so.
I bet we're talking about 6 to 7 grand to the 2, depending on how many people on this watching the stream bet it.
Yeah. Why did we do this?
I'm not kidding. That's a $1,000 pick 3, and we have a 5-2 shot and a 4-1 shot. So just do the math. 50 cents times 5 to 2 is
2 and a 5 are the 2 best horses in the prime power and Breezenet by a far margin. So that makes me feel good.
The 5 should air this field. I mean, I love fading Steve Asmussen. The 5 should air this field.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you guys wanted a single, and I just wanted to be alive to one other shot. You know.
I'm all behind this too, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm the 2's biggest fan right now. So.
I'm going to be pissed when the 3 horse, who is a factor, aside from the factor, and Raylu is up, is the one.
If Raylu wins, I'm going to fall out in my face.
I will be betting Raylu in this race. I might have 2-1. I'm going to take a little bit ahead
on that horse.
I'll
have to bet win on the 3 just to have something, so I win my money back.
Oh, so how about this live draft ticket, man? We're pretty good at this shit, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, I'd give it all to Jarrett, man. That was unbelievable.
No.
He picked Gum Wrapper. I was like, Gum Wrapper. I'm like, I'm taking Soap Bubble. And he's like, I'm picking Gum Wrapper. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about right now? What are the names of these horses we're picking?
Wow.
Oh man, that was crazy. I want to see these Will Pays.
Oh,
Gum Wrapper is a horse that just, I mean, this horse used to get his ass beat at Oaklawn. I don't know if you even remember that horse.
Yeah, I know Gum Wrapper. Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm shocked the horse won, and not only did the horse win, it wasn't even close. Like there was no sweating it.
He aired at the top of
Yeah, I know.
He won.
I'm pissed I'm not live in the pick 5. I had that damn horse on the grid. I didn't put it on. It was literally the next one on. I didn't put that damn thing on. Oh, well. What's the payouts? Come on, pick 4.
Hey, you got some slim negativity. That's all I'm okay. I need you to get rid of it.
No negativity for a ticket. I'm going to play $20 to win on that Ray Lou horse. He's 15-1.
He's 70-1 right now.
He's 7-1. All right. I think I bet like $150 in tickets. So I just got to bet as much money to make that 150 back on this. If I come out even and Ray Lou beats me, I'll be all right.
Real quick, guys, the two opened up, and I know it's not a lot of money, but the 2 opened up at 1-5. That's never a bad sign.
There's $785 bet. 515 is on the 2.
Doesn't matter. There was a large wager on the 2 to start. I don't want to hear that shit. All right.
It's not available yet on Twin Spires.
I love it. We got like 5 people that are live on the grid too.
This is amazing. If we hit this thing for like 3,500 right now,
community ticket with us. Everybody online. All right, guys. Oh, Philip Edlow said LFGGGGG. So I think he played the community ticket.
It's $1,000 to the 5, 1,500 to the 2.
2 is 14, 18, and he's 1 to 5.
We're gonna have but we're gonna have the heavy 2 favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. The grid might have affected the payouts.
Thanks a lot, Samich.
No. Look, the will pays to the 5, 940, to the 2, 1400, to the 3, 2800. The next lowest is 4,700, and then it's $7,000 and up.
You think we expect the pool?
People ask why we don't do bombs at these tracks sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. That is insane.
You really think
It makes sense. Everyone's playing it. I mean, look at the feed here right now. All the comments. People have played the ticket we gave out even. So, I mean, we can't give the shit for free, guys. Come on.
No. Well, listen. Okay, say the 5 wins and it's $900. You know, that's fun for sitting here for a couple hours with your friends playing horses, right? I mean, I'm not going to complain about that.
We got a couple people live to the pick 5 off the grid too. To the 236, paying 8,000, 6,000, and 21,000. The 235, not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The pick 5 carries to the 4, the 10, and the 11, and the pick 6 numbers aren't up. But I'm assuming there's going to be some singles in the pick 6 too.
I got to think if the 5 wins, yeah, maybe it gets taken down.
Wow. All right.
What did the pick 3 pay in that race 9?
The pick 3 paid $1,000 for a buck in race 9. So if you just played our pick 3 here,
I say we should have just played our pick 3.
4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 5 is what, $60? So $60 returns $1,000 for a dollar pick 3.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. And then you don't even have to win this race.
There you go.
Same cost. Don't need to win this race.
That wouldn't be any fun though, right?
Yeah.
All right, Slim, you want to take us home here before we, I'll sweat this out?
I'm just writing down. The 2 is playing.
Maybe we should let Harvey do it since it's his Brown.
940. All right. If I win $940 tonight, I'll be pretty fucking happy. So.
Worthwhile coming on the stream, Slim.
We're gonna be doing this every night now. You know.
Weekend after dark, baby. Let's do it.
Might be single if I do it every night, but
hey, it works.
Yeah.
Browns and Steelers. Steelers giving 6. The under/over is 47.5. Browns and Steelers. I'm all over Big Ben in this spot. I love that guy. I think he's going to come through, and Claypool is going to be unleashed. This guy Claypool, he has the same measurements as Megatron, and they held him back. He only ran about 60% or 65% of Big Ben's dropbacks. He ran patterns on through the year. They held him back because they didn't want him to hit the rookie wall. They ain't holding him back on Sunday to end wildcard weekend. Claypool is going to show that he's going to be one of the best wide receivers in football, and it starts in this wildcard weekend. He's one of my main plays on all my lineups. I love this guy. I mean, I know they got Juju. I know they got Deontay Thompson, but the measurements on this guy is great. So I like that as a stack with Claypool and Big Ben. On the Brown side, I'm not too excited about. I mean, Chubb and Hunt, I guess, I don't know. I never really like having 2 running backs getting so much work. Landry, I don't know. He can have a good game. I'm not going to be doing anything with Baker. So my main plays is really just leaning on Ben and a couple of his wide receivers. I'm sure I'll have a stack with Juju, with Claypool, and Deontay with Claypool, with Big Ben. I'll probably have those in a couple of lineups. I just like them this week.
Do I have to talk about this game, or can?
No,
can you guys
I
do it?
thought you were saying. Yeah.
Are you scared as a Browns fan?
Oh, I don't think scared really. I have no hope. I guess is how I would put it.
Expectations to be scared.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I would have to think we have a shot to win the game. Look, I gave us very a minute chance to win like before everybody's out with COVID, and now it's like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Well, what was the tweet I sent you guys from that Jake Trotter? The tweet was this was yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. The Browns haven't practiced all week. Their head coach has COVID. Their building remains closed. Their QB hasn't thrown a pass since Sunday, and they have a half dozen starters on the virus list. Otherwise,
and their starting tackle is out with an undisclosed illness. Let's just pile that one on. And oh, by the way, you're facing a team that's in division that you only beat by 2 with their backup quarterback when they weren't trying, when you needed to win to make the playoffs. And your quarterback struggles when facing pressure, and you're facing the number 1 team in sacks and blitzes in the NFL. Like, you can't get any. Oh, and by the way, your run defense is good, but your pass defense is terrible, and all the other team does is pass. Every single we're really bad at this is what Pittsburgh wants to do. It's just a terrible matchup for the Browns.
It would be an absolute shock if the Browns won this game. I would take the Steelers -6 all day long. I said on Rocket Hour, I think this will be like 38-10, 38-7. Like, I really think it's going to be a blowout. The one single thing, and it is one minute thing that the Browns have going for them that they didn't have last week. The Browns played so tight last week because you guys listen. Ricky wasn't born right when the last time the Browns made the playoffs. Like, they had been so long, they played so tight. Now they are massive underdogs. I don't think anybody's giving them a shot. They're not going to be the tight team. The pressure now shifts to Pittsburgh. So if Pittsburgh loses this game, they're the ones that are going to get buried in the media all week. So I think that does favor the Browns, but all the other aspects of this game favor the Steelers. So I really think it's going to be a blowout. As a Cleveland fan, I'm happy that they made the playoffs. I think this was a big step they needed to make. And now you got to make the next step of actually being competitive and having a shot at things. And that's the hardest one to make. That's the biggest step to take. That's the hardest one to do. But they're getting there. They're getting better. They've had a good season, but this is a nightmare for the Browns on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm a little scared of the 6, to be honest. I just remember that Philadelphia-Pittsburgh game where Pittsburgh dominated and then totally shelled up and was up 14 and gave up 2 late touchdowns to the Ravens, where this Pittsburgh team is willing to give up trash touchdowns. The Browns are going to probably have to throw when they're down. Pittsburgh stops blitzing, and you are out 3 of the top defensive players, including a top edge rusher and top linebacker who got hurt about midway through the season for Pittsburgh. So I'm a little scared of the 6. Especially if, look, you mentioned the pressure is going to be on Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't come out and play their A game. And Pittsburgh has been, they're kind of one of those teams where every now and then you just kind of scratch your head. Why isn't this a blowout? And I'm worried that you may see that again here. I'm hammering home these teaser legs because I want to be on the same mentality. I want to have the same mentality as the coaches here. They want to win the game. They don't give a damn about covering the number. So, teams like the Steelers here, teams like the Bills, 2-team teaser where all you have to do is have both of them win. To me, that's a much safer play here. As far as the total, man, I got no clue what's going to go over or under here. I think I could make a case for both directions. If the Steelers show up like they did against Washington, this total goes way under 47.5, especially if their D shows up. But I don't really trust that we're going to really know. Maybe in game, I'll lean toward 1 over or under, specifically if the Browns are moving the ball against the Steelers. Maybe you lean over. But I like the Steelers as a teaser like here. I think one of the best bets on the board is a 3-team teaser with Buffalo, Washington, and the Steelers.
Yo, I got the funniest thing you're ever gonna hear in your life. When this guy was saying, "I'm scared of the 6," I frantically looked down at my pick 4 ticket. I'm like, I don't have the fucking 6.
Slim's 8 up right now. He's very worried.
I was like, and then I realized the line on this game was 6 points.
I don't like either one of these teams. The Steelers, I can't get out of my head how bad they've been the last 5 weeks. Even though they're playing the Browns, who obviously it sucks. I mean, I hate it for you, Walterman, and especially the lifers that have been Browns fans their whole lives, and to kind of get here and then have all this shit happen, because the Browns, kind of the way they were playing, they finally had started kind of really getting some things going. I felt like, and it kind of looked like a team that might be tough to at least a tough out for some teams. It just doesn't look that way. I mean, the Steelers should win this game. I agree on the line and the over and under. Like, this game is all over the place for me. I can't get a good measure on it. I would try to buy some, tease it a little bit if I had to play this game and just get like the Steelers like -3 or -2 or something, and just pound that, because I really think they're going to win by more than a field goal, like you said earlier, Samich, about the other games. So Steelers should win, but either one of these teams scare me moving forward.
No, I mean, I think the Steelers are one of those false positive teams where you think in your head maybe they could be good, but without Bush, I mean, without Watt, they're just not the same defense that we saw earlier. You really just have Fitzpatrick on the back end, and they have to blitz to create pressure now. They didn't need to do that before. And when you can rush with your front four, that's a huge difference. Whereas you have to blitz, you're creating much more pressure on the outside. And look, man, when was the last time someone won the Super Bowl with literally having no running game? Not that just like you can run the ball sometimes. The Steelers can't run the ball, period. Like, it's brutal if you watch them try and run the ball. Their offensive line is old and can only pass block. So, the Steelers moving forward, I think, are a play against. This is just such a good matchup for them. It's hard for me not to back the Steelers here.
Connor's been he's a ghost this year. I mean, he just doesn't exist anymore. Whereas he was the hottest, one of the hottest running backs in the NFL. All right,
you can't use Connor in fantasy. He's garbage now.
What do you think about using Chubb, Halterman?
I definitely think Chubb's one you should use, because I think the one bright spot with the Browns is their running backs are healthy, so that's good. They and they're coming in strong. I think Chubb was a guy that a lot of Browns fans, including myself, is like, how does he get 14 touches last week? Like, he should have had 20, 25. If I'm the Browns, after Mason Rudolph threw all over the secondary, I'm just running the ball, trying to keep the ball away from the Steelers. That's your only hope. I mean, if you get into a shootout with the Steelers, you're going to get beat, because the Browns secondary, it's just pathetic. It's so freaking bad. They made Lamar Jackson look like Joe Montana. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, I think Chubb is a borderline play, but Samich really touched on something that's going to be another problem. The offensive line's got a lot of question marks as far as who's going to play and who's not. So, a lot of issues. Chubb definitely, I think, is going to be the one bright spot tomorrow, on Sunday.
All right, I think we're all. Are you picking the Steelers, Halterman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it the COVID situation? Is that just totally screws them?
Yeah.
They're the Browns, and the most Brown things to do is to the whole team get COVID before the biggest game of the year.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it happened with the Jets game 3 weeks ago, and then they kind of got half the team back last week, and now they've lost the coaching staff and some more guys this week. So, yeah, bad time to get COVID. It's a cursed franchise. I've just accepted it. It's just they were really moving along and playing well, but let's face it, they historically they're horrible against the Steelers. I definitely think it's an inferiority complex they have with the Steelers. They're just probably just going to get their ass beat. I mean, that's just the bottom line on it. And there's just no factor that really works in the Browns' favors here at all.
And you add on to that the fact that they haven't been able to practice until today, 2 days before the game. Their coach is going to be out, who is a big factor in why they were successful this year, moving over from Kitchens. Shit just fell the wrong way for them. But now, then I have to ask, what chalk isn't getting home? Because I think at least 2 of the 4 people, maybe 4 of the 4 people on this show have picked every single favorite. Mm-hmm. So what underdog is winning? Because someone is going to win. Who's a dog?
It's not the Browns.
I agree.
That's a good point. Titans probably.
Yeah, that one makes sense, because they're at home and they're a dog, so that makes sense. It's not the Bears aren't going to win.
Titans are 1, Rams are 2nd.
So I would say Titans are 1, Rams are 2, Bears would be my 3rd pick for a dog to win.
Oh wow.
Well, okay, but your choices are Bears, Browns, Colts, or Washington. Who's most likely to win? Bears, to me, are the most likely to win of those 4 teams.
I would say Colts and then Bears, just because the Colts, they're a decent team, where the Bears just suck, So I would put the Colts.
That's how you really feel, Aaron.
Yeah. The Bears are so. If the Bears beat the Saints, they need to not fire Sean Payton. They need to shoot Sean Payton right in the head.
Oh my God! Good Lord. Okay.
Bring in Greg Williams.
We don't condone
Someone needs to be shot. What are you talking about?
in the head. Actually, I think is what is exactly.
I could see the Saints going full Saints here and just not showing up. They've done it before, man. They have done it before where they lay a freaking egg, and maybe Alex Mack or whatever the heck his name is gets a fumble 6, and all of a sudden, the defense scores a couple touchdowns, and the Saints don't move the ball. Breeze can't push the ball downfield. Thomas isn't 100%. Kamara's coming back from COVID. I could make a better case for them losing because I think they could lay an egg. The Bills will not lay an egg. I could see the Saints laying an egg.
So it's interesting because Halterman thinks the Colts are, which I could agree with that. And you think the Saints are. So who's the lock of the weekend? Is it Steelers or is it Bills?
Tampa.
You think Tampa's the lock?
Tampa doesn't lose.
I think it's the Steelers.
They would be a close second for me. I don't think
Bills.
So that's why those 3 teams, I think, if you want to do a 3-team teaser, you're looking at Pick'em -0.5 and 2 points. Those 3 teams to win. I think those are the 3 most likely winners of the weekend. The other games I can make cases, but I don't see how Tampa loses that game. Now, if there was a home field advantage, if you had fans in the stands, I think you have a different conversation about what Washington could do and what Tennessee could do. But playing without fans, I mean, that completely changes the overall feel of the game and what could happen there.
It's super interesting this year, the fact that we have these home field, obviously one team's home, and really for the most part, no fans are there. So
we got 1 minute to post here at Sam Houston. I just realized.
Yeah, we got it's time to get serious here. We are close to cashing, let's hope, one of these tickets. So let's try to get one. Oh, we got the 2. Let's bring that back up here. 2 and the 5.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 and the 5. Let's get the 2 and the 5. Let's get the what was the higher one? The 2?
Yeah. 2's for 1,500.
2 home. What do you say?
And we liked the 3. Euro Rose. That was the horse that kind of would be the next one here if we went one more beat.
On this horse. Hold on a second.
And then I also had the 6 Wyoming on the grid, second time out for Sophie Doyle, who should improve time. And the 9 Bella, who's first time out Diodoro. Aaron, did you have anyone else in here that you liked at all?
I really just liked the 2 and the 5 the best. I thought the 2 is the logical next choice if the 5 falters. But to me, listen, this is an Asmussen horse that just has a right to win this race because facing such less competition here. So I really thought the 2 that you needed to use are the 2 we have. I didn't get real creative in this one. I think this is, if you're going to go short, this is definitely a leg to do it. And listen, I think the hope is that the 5 drops into this race and just has more talent, period. And kind of can just, sit a nice stocking trip from that 5 post and pounce and win here.
Is the 5 on the Oaks Trail after this?
I want to see a Sam Houston horse in the Derby Trail. I want to see this happen. I'm hoping for it.
I would love it. I would definitely love it. I don't think so, though. To answer your question, Jared, directly, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think Bear Bryan is the ultimate ruse tomorrow?
No, I don't think Bear Bryan. I don't think Bear Bryan will be on the Derby Trail after tomorrow. That's my bold prediction of the show.
Magic and I considered claiming here when we saw this horse at Sam Houston.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's judging by your second round pick, that you might be right. I mean, you may actually have. You're not kidding around. When it
you could have picked up 5 points tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. All right, they're loading. Are you ready, Slim?
12 took a ton of money. Someone mentioned that earlier.
I gotta be honest.
It's a swirling candy that's sold under stud fee.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
That's more of a turf horse to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Twirling candy, tap it on the bottom.
Very nervous.
And the 5 didn't get pounded like I thought.
I'm shocked to say this. I think 8 to 5 is a good price on the 5.
Yeah.
That's normally an Aaron comment. I'm not usually going to tell you 8-5 is a good price. I think 8-5 is a decent number on that 5.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that we're sitting here rooting for Asmussen as much as you hate him here, and now it's like, all right, come on, we got to get him home.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, whatever. Let's just get him home.
We say that now the 5 horse is 3-2 and going down.
You really can't be a true degenerate unless you're betting Sam Houston at 11 p.m. at night, 12 o'clock your guys' time, and rooting for Asmussen horse who's awful to win. You really aren't a degenerate unless you are doing that.
Well, like this horse got beat by like 11 lengths last time out too. It's like, yeah, we're all over.
Right. This horse got beat by Amalfi Princess by 11 lengths and tried to press the pace against Amalfi Princess. Amalfi Princess beats this field by 30, like literally 30 lengths. Like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Right. You're right.
Yeah. Savage probably will be betting Australian racing after this, so don't worry.
I cannot understand how the hell to read a past performance in Australian racing. I struggle so heavily with it. There's just not enough information for me there. So, JD, if you want to shoot me over what PPs you look at to actually try and decipher what the hieroglyphics are that I look at when I'm looking at international racing, I would love the opportunity to check out. I heard there's a Chinese track I heard that's incredible too that I'd love to check out overnight. But I'm so DRF that I've never gotten out of it.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line. Australia is where I draw the line.
The 9, they're off the 9. Ty Kennedy is off the 9 for Roberto Diodoro.
Oh, I hope Ty Kennedy's okay. Did he get bucked off or something?
They're standing around the 9 looking at him.
Ty Kennedy's my friend.
Our 2's been loaded for 16 minutes, so
it's always a good sign.
I think the 9 might be scratched to bringing him in front of the gate. I don't know why this is happening. Are they going to back this horse in there? What the hell's going on? Why are they doing this? Why is the horse in front of the gate?
Don't worry about it. What is he doing?
I may cancel my superfecta ticket where I have the 9 and everything. I'm getting a little squirmish here. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'll replace the 12 with the 9.
What are they doing?
Backing them all out? This is horrible. Oh, my God.
The 9 scratch, right?
Yeah, well, they can't bring a horse in front of the gate and not scratch him, I don't think.
This isn't Saratoga, Slim. They can do anything.
Like being at Belmont Stakes Day, you know?
Yeah. This is more of the Wild West. We got cowboy hats here, Slim.
Yeah.
Get the 9 out here. All right, let's run this race without the 9. You don't need the 9. Sorry.
No, I say run the 9 just so it doesn't scratch and then we get hurt on our prices even more.
Horrible name for a horse, by the way. They should scratch this horse based on the name. Jubella.
As someone who used the 9, I would like the 9 to run. Actually, I'm going to cancel my tickets with the 9.
Hey, hold on. What did you say the name of the 9?
They're literally trying to force in from the
Time out. Oh my gosh, she's like, what is going on here? Why
they're trying to back the horse in. Has anyone seen anyone ever back a horse in from the front of the gate before?
No.
This is insane. This can't be possible that they're going to try to do this.
This horse is so pissed right now. Look at this horse.
No.
In Europe, they would have already you're scratched. You're just
This horse is done.
Oh, okay, hold on. They're bringing him back around now.
Oh my God.
She's like,
that'll work.
What do I need to do to tell you I don't want to run this fucking race?
Yeah, right. I tried so hard.
Yeah, trying to back me in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's at the gate and he just stops right when they get close to the stall.
Oh. Yeah, we're fading. We're fading the 9 now, guys.
Oh, I think we got a scratch.
They're not
moving numbers now.
They're finally moving the numbers. If they don't scratch this 9, of course, all this ruckus.
There are people that have the 9 in the pick 4 and pick 5 for my grid. I had it as a deep ticket, so you get the 5 twice now. This could actually affect our pick 4 payout.
It's going to.
All right, cancel.
All right.
Yeah, Jubel is late scratch.
I mean, that was pretty late. The rest of the field was in the freaking gate.
Pretty damn tardy, guys.
Get your shit together, Sam.
All right. I played a 5 with 2-3 with 2-3-6-12 superfecta. Cost me 12 for $1.
That is a degenerate bet right there.
I'm sitting on my pot. Like I'm literally 2 inches taller than when this card started because of all the money I'm sitting on from Sam Houston. So I figured I got to throw $12 in there.
Doesn't matter. Still a degenerate bet for sure. Like
$20 to win on hooked on a kiss.
And I'm putting in superfectas at Sam Houston.
Yeah. I got $20 on hooked on a kiss the 3 because she was on my other tickets, and Ray Lou was on this horse. So it's 13-1, 16-1. So
what's the name of it?
Hooked on a Kiss with Ray Lou up. That's the other horse I had on my other 2 tickets. So I just felt weird if that horse beat me. I'd be pissed.
I hope that horse's nose hits the dirt right out of the gate. That's what I hope.
I know. I don't want Ray Lou to get hurt.
No, he stays on. Just the horse is 20 lengths behind.
Are you guys watching TVG or the live stream?
Live stream
on the Twin Spires feed.
There's TVG showing LaSalle.
Yeah, I have TVG on my other screen. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 screens of.
Let's just get this 2 home, just for fun. Let's just get the 2 home.
6 on my phone. I have 6 screens in front of me. And I got a nice background here. I got my Saratoga blanket. She's on the wall, different horses.
JD,
all right,
you don't need to live that way.
It's a pretty common loading technique at the track I play. That might say something.
You don't need to live that way, buddy. Upgrade.
I've never seen it. I've never seen a horse back then.
I can't think of like one time I've seen
Aaron.
it.
Aaron, you've seen more races than all of us.
Never have I ever seen that.
They don't even do it at Delta.
No. I would like to know where you're playing because I watch every track. I've never seen that happen.
Aaron was every track in North America. Maybe it's like
not seen a horse.
Is that a Fort Erie move, maybe? The small Canada tracks, right? Like
those. The logic of what they tried to do there. I mean,
all right.
Let's try to moonwalk it into this.
Yeah. The horse doesn't want to go forward, but let's back it in. That'll make the horse more comfortable.
All right. So, do we want the 5 on the lead? What do we think?
Yeah, he needs that, or I guess it's she that needs to be forwardly placed. I don't know if on the lead, but
and you expect the 2 is going to trip out right behind the speed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
All right. Okay. Now
okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
5 broke on top.
Looks like the 10 is out on top here.
Don't worry about that.
Pass. The 3 to the inside makes a bold move.
Ray Lou.
With Ray Lou Gutierrez up, takes the lead. The 7 is in between horses. My Girl Lexi and behind them.
Oh boy.
I don't like where either one of our horses are at.
No, this isn't good.
5
is showing something here. The 5 is showing
moving a bit.
The 12.
No. 5.
The 3 is on the rail. These horses are going to have to fall over for either one of these horses. The 2 is done.
The 2 is way far back. The 5 has to make it.
5 has a shot, guys.
5 cut the corner. Well,
no.
The 3 looks strong. The 5 is trying to get out, but he can't get out. Damn it! He can't get out. 5. Come on, 5. Get there.
Get up. Get up.
12.
No.
3.
3.
Oh, the 3.
12.
12 gonna get there.
I get that 3.
All right.
Oh my God, the 3 held, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I had $20 to win on that horse in my backup. Oh, I wish I had him in the fucking pick 4.
That pick 4 pays $3,000
for $1 or 50.
50.
Wow.
Well, if we had gone 3 deep in that leg instead of 2 deep, we would have hit it. How much more would that have cost us?
Well, it depends how we structured it.
Well, no, just if we had 3,
$90.
We had a $60 ticket, it would have been 90 for $30 more because Samish was 3 deep in this leg and his other tickets, and I was 3 deep in the pick 5. But I wouldn't have had a 10 before that. We wouldn't have had a 10 before that, so it didn't matter. Well, I'm sorry, I'm talking about it in your tickets, but if we had it on,
Well,
all right, well,
it's a giant waste of time now.
what was the 3? What was the 3?
17-1.
Yeah.
17-1 pays 2,800 for 50 cents. I'm sure. Hopefully,
I get back 360.
I hope I have the 3.
I spent
I'm
150.
sure someone did.
I bet. I put $20 to win on him. I told everyone I put $20 to win on him. Getting the gate. The Ray Lou horse. And I told you the Ray Lou horse made the bold move to take the lead, and they never looked back.
Yeah.
He was on the back side, and they were going a little too slow for him, and Ray Lou just took the lead on the backside and never looked back. And held that horse off at the end. So
I don't think
good ride by Ray Lou, I would say.
I don't think the 5 is going on the Oaks Trail after that one.
No.
I think you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-5. That was a big disappointment.
Well, like mid stretch, I'm like, okay, that horse is finally starting to move a little bit, but just ugh.
Man, it sucks to get a horse home. Like, how frustrating is it? Samich, obviously you're a big time multi-race. When you get a huge price home and you can't get the logical one that you think is logical home at the end, like it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, this was a ticket construction problem on my side. I mean, that's all it was. I had the 3 as a next up. The 3 was actually my second pick in this race. And so if I had gone to the 3 instead of adding the 7 in the previous race, we probably could have gotten this home. But it was a problem of getting to the 10 in the previous race and getting to the 3 in this race. It's making a way of constructing the way that you get there, because we were against, like, maybe if we go short in that first race, fade the asses and go something like 4-8, and then you can do it later. But you had to go short in one of the first 2 races to be able to get to the last 2 races, and that's what made the sequence so difficult. Is that you can't just back off those first 2. You've got to go 3 to 4 deep, probably 4 to 5 deep in the second to last leg, and at least 3 deep in this leg to get to both those horses. So if you're trying to play a smaller ticket, you can't use everybody early.
Yeah, really hard to hit that unless you played the bigger ticket, because there was no place you could have singled and really gotten away with it, because we beat the short prices, and then we finally said, okay, now we need a short price, and a short price never came in the whole 4-race sequence. So that makes it really hard, especially when the last 2 winners are double digits. What was it, 18 and what was this one, 17-1?
Yeah.
So listen. $60 ticket, you're not going to hit it very many times. Like Slim said, you add in the 3, it makes it a $90 ticket. Well, then obviously we hit it, but playing $60 ticket, really tough to hit that sequence.
Yep, and I may or may not have just gotten the DM. Someone hit for $21,000 in the late pick 5 off the grid. So someone hit the late pick 5 for $21,000 off the grid.
Wow.
Jeez.
Not a bad day.
Very nice. Well, that person, congratulations,
Yeah. No kidding, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad.
First pays to win here. Hooked on a kiss. Ray Lou up. Fulham, the big favorite, 8-5 favorite, got 3rd. Split by the 12-12, who almost got her nose down at the wire. So it was 3, 12, 5, and 10. The unofficial, they still have it up as unofficial. So,
Can we take the 10 down? If we take the 10 down, I got the super.
Can we put a bow on this? It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes of disappointment there at the end. So no, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Alterman, let's let you take the last one, because obviously Monday night is the big national championship, and you're a college guy here. What do you think of this game? Ohio State, Alabama, obviously should be a very exciting game. -8 on Alabama, 75 is the total. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll always play. I always play Alabama if you're playing straight up in a college football game. That if you don't watch college football, that's a really good thing to go for. But I kind of think Ohio State covers, but Alabama wins. Ohio State, they've got some dudes, and they beat the hell out of Clemson, who I thought would win that game. So Ohio State, they're very, very good, talented, great offense. And if you haven't watched a lot of Alabama this year, don't be surprised when Ohio State scores a lot of points, because the Alabama defense is not that good this year. They really have struggled. But the Alabama offense, way too many playmakers for me. They're almost impossible to stop. High-scoring game. I think we may go over that 75 number. I'm going to go Ohio State +8, but I do think Alabama will win the game.
Samich, what do you think?
I think the best bet in this game is over in the first half. It's 37.5 last I checked. Look, Bama scores close to 60%, 65% of their points in the first half of games this year. They consistently do that because they turtle up when they're up 21 points, 14 points in the second half, because they rely on their defense not to give up. 28 points in the second half, which I don't think will happen. But Bama's offense will roll over Ohio State's defense, and Bama's defense is not the Bama defense that we all know and love. They are not that good. I mean, they give up 40-something to Mississippi State. Florida put up touchdown after touchdown against them. I don't see how Iowa State doesn't score. Bama puts up 24, 28 in the first half, which they should, especially since you have two teams playing with pace. I don't see how Ohio State doesn't put up 14. I think over 37.5 first half is the best bet. If you look at like the history of what Alabama's done it this year, even if like the Notre Dame game, first half goes over, Bama covers the first half. Second half goes under, Notre Dame covers the second half and the game, and the total goes under because Bama didn't need to score to win. Saban does not play to run the score up. He plays to win the game, and because of that, you see a lot of these situations where Bama first half, Bama over first half, both cover, and then for the game, the under is close, the total's close, and the opponent covers the spread because Bama doesn't care about covering 24, doesn't care about covering 14. In this case, 8's a little small. I probably would take Bama -8, but to me, the best bet is first half over 37.5, and I would take Bama first half -4.5.
Dude, I really think I'm with Halterman. I was shocked. I mean, maybe not shocked because this year was hard with college and kind of hard to get a feel for these teams. But Ohio State, like I could have made a case Ohio State wins, not the way they won that game against Clemson. I mean, they just demolished them. So it all of a sudden makes it you go into this game thinking, oh, okay, I see you, Ohio State. Like that was impressive. So they balled out, but I agree. Like the offensive firepower of Alabama just seems incredibly impossible to stop. Over everything. I feel like this game. If nothing else, it should be fun, right?
It should be a blast. And I really wasn't a guy that was sitting there thinking that like a week ago this would be that great of a game, because Ohio State, if you've watched them this year, they really haven't looked that good at any point until last week when they killed Clemson. Like I'm with you. Like you're never going to be surprised if Ohio State, goes in and wins a big game. But I really thought Clemson would win and maybe win by 7 or 10 points. And it's kind of maybe even a late touchdown and they get a double-digit 17-point win or something like that. They got murdered, man. I mean, they were all over them. And Clemson, they acted clueless on how to stop Ohio State. And I think Ohio State, they've got a great running game. But the thing that happened last week was Josh Fields was fantastic. I mean, he was unbelievable. He was making unbelievable passes. If he does that again, they're going to be extremely difficult to stop.
Yeah, that Josh Fields. All of a sudden, is that the Jets' new quarterback after this? It's all of a sudden it's like it's been Trevor Lawrence to now we don't have the one pick to now are they going to take like the second best? And I just feel like Justin Fields could be a solid player in the NFL, but like Trevor Lawrence seems like an auto guy. You know what I mean? Like you can't miss with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know.
Got two people hit the pick 5. One of the guys hit the pick 4 for another $2. Cashed $35,000 in that last race.
Unbelievable. Wow. Congratulations, guys. If you amazing.
That's
incredible.
Huge. Slim, who you picking in the national championship?
I want to see that guy from Ohio State because he might be the Jets coach. I mean, not the Jets coach, the Jets quarterback. The Jets coach. Because the Gaze was the worst. Kotite was bad. They got Adam Gaze. Oh, my God. The guy's the worst. So that dude on Ohio State, I heard, could be the Jets coach. So I guess I'll watch some of the game to see. Not the Jets coach, the Jets QB. I keep on talking about they need a coach. They should have just kept Todd Bowles. Now Todd Bowles might be the head coach. You hear this again? Somebody was interviewing him. Unbelievable. They should have just kept Bowles. This guy gave.
I cannot believe that Jason Garrett is getting considered for an NFL head coaching job in San Diego now. After like, are you kidding me? He was incompetent in Dallas, he was incompetent in New York, and now he's the guy instead of like Eric Bellamy or Bielemy, who's like obviously Jared. You don't want him to go anywhere, but he should be a candidate everywhere. You got the Bills offensive coordinator Dable, who should be a candidate everywhere. And it's like, really, we're going to go to Garrett? Like that's what we're going to go with?
It's unreal. It's unreal. That's the NFL. They're just retreads over and over, like Gase. Like, how the hell did he get a job again? You know, I mean, in the areas with the Jets, he'll be back. I guarantee you.
Did you guys see like Deshaun Watson is pissed with the GM of Houston because they didn't interview Bellamy? It's like, what are you doing? Like, how good would he be for that system and that program? It's like they just don't even interview him. Like, not even like give him a look. They don't interview him. It's like, and you're right. They hire the same idiots over and over.
Yep. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, that's
man. Dude, did you know I hit 4 out of 5?
Oh, nice.
And it paid. And I don't know why I got $358.
It paid out. I had 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, they paid 4 out of 5? Oh, sweet. That's cool.
What'd it pay?
I got $500 back.
Yeah, I got back $358.
$119.40 for 4 out of 5.
Nice.
What did it pay?
$119.40 for 4 out of 5.
I don't know why the hell I got $358 back then. Did I have a horse that got scratched or something? I don't think so. I don't think I had Jubella.
All right. Do you guys have anything else to talk about here?
No.
You're good.
Anyone gives a crap about this? I actually worked on a. Could you share my screen, Jarrett?
I can't share your screen, but you can share your own screen if you can figure that out.
I wouldn't even try that right now.
Anyway, just try.
Let's let him try it.
Yeah, let him try it. Click down at the bottom. Share screen.
Yeah, I see your screen. Yeah.
Now click that.
Yeah.
Now hit add to stream.
I can't do it. All right, forget it.
Here.
Hold on, wait. No, do it again.
Hey,
I can
add
add it. Do the
Put it
same
back
thing.
on there. Put it back on there.
Yeah, we can add it.
Yeah.
Add it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So break down the NFL weekend here. 3 top quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson. I made this graphic during the show. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Roethlisberger, my 3 users there. Obviously, Kamara. I'm going against Derrick Henry, which could be dangerous, but just going to stick with Kamara and Jonathan Taylor, Dobbins, Akers, and Hines. A lot of wide receivers, Diggs, Deontay Johnson, Kupp, Marquise Brown, Claypool, Beasley, John Brown, and Gabriel Davis. I have 4 Buffalo wide receivers I like. Mark Andrews and Cook are my only tight ends, and my defenses that I'll be using is Tampa Bay and Seattle. Seattle is such a good value for defenses this week, and that should be a very low-scoring game. There are my 3 lineups. I'm not going to go through them, but you can mix and match those guys with Lamar stacked with Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews in my first lineup. The second stack, I have all Josh Allen and 3 of his wide receivers, and then the Roethlisberger, Claypool, Deontay Johnson stack in the last one. So, and you just mix the guys around it, and you hope for the best. And that's how FanDuel works.
I love that you even color coded these teams. I mean, you really got into it. I like it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do a lot of.
Is that a good strategy that you use a lot in FanDuel? Like when you pair up a quarterback with the wide receivers and so on, because if they go off, then it just adds into your total.
I rarely have a lineup if I don't have the quarterback with at least one of his wide receivers.
Yeah,
you gotta stack, man. Got to do it to be able to get on top.
Yep.
You gotta have it. I mean, I never done the Josh Allen with 3 wide receivers, but there's one thing with the daily. There's only 6 games. Everyone's used to playing 11 games in the 1 4 o'clock, 12 games or something, the 1 4 o'clock lineup. So there's only 6 games, so you could do some crazy stuff sometimes just to maybe get a leg up and do something a little different.
So no one hit the pick 6 at Sam Houston. We're carrying over because it went 5 out of 6.
Wow.
So if you played the grid, no one did it. I didn't do it. You hit 6 out of 6 and cashed $80,000. No one did it. So we got a mandatory payout tomorrow at Sam Houston.
Awesome.
All right. Well, so how much? What are you doing tomorrow? Tell the people what you got going on tomorrow on the site. What you got going on playing in the tournaments.
Yeah, we got a big day tomorrow. So we'll have Gulfstream Park up for the Sama Bombs tomorrow. Mandatory payout pick 6. The pool should get close to $5 to $6 million. I'm going to throw up a free grid for Sam Houston because I love these people and we got to keep supporting them. So that'll be up on the Twitter tomorrow night, probably around the same time. So if you want to run it back, I probably won't sweep the card again, but it will be out there. And then, tomorrow I have 2 entries in the FloCal, which is a $400,000 online tournament on horseplayers.com. We're trying to take it down. I've last 2 tournaments, I finished 12th and 6th. The winner's going to probably get around $250,000. So you can follow that, and there'll be a couple of live streams that I'm supposed to appear on too over the weekend on Friday and Saturday.
See, the people like this Degenerate happy hour every weekend.
Shockingly, if we win.
Yeah, this is fun, guys. Appreciate you guys being on here. Remember to go to the website, racingdudes.com. Check out more of our free picks and our premium products. Like I said, you can get Soma Bombs over there as well as Ricky's Rockets is on there, and of course, Racing Dudes Premium. Remember, you can check out the Magic Mike show this week, which did a late pick 4 sequence of the Sam Houston. So you can get more analysis of that. Halter, are you doing Ricky's Rockets tomorrow morning?
No. Ricky's Rockets just Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays.
That's a show. Don't you know the schedule for your own website?
Yeah.
Dr. Miranda actually previewed the 2 races in front of our Magic Mike pick 4. So if you want to look at a full pick 6 preview, Dr. Miranda is covering the 2 races in front of the late pick 4, and then Magic and I covered the late pick 4 on the Magic Mike show for Sam Houston.
Wow.
There you go, Dr. Miranda.
Yeah, we got you covered.
We should have her on next time.
Check that out.
And no, Slim, I have no idea what Ricky's doing. Halterman just lets me know. So.
Ricky Pasternak on the fastest track, one of the greatest rap songs ever. I heard that. I texted Ryan Stillman. Ricky Pasternak on the faster track rate rhyme, dude.
Of course, right? That dude never disappoints when it comes.
All right, love you guys.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us for 2.5 hours. So this ought to be a fun podcast to edit and get on the website. I'll have it up by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. It'll be a very raw podcast. When you guys are listening to this after fact, it's going to be basically how it was. Like let's not get crazy. It's 11:38 my time. It's 12:38 your guys' time. So thank you everybody that's listening to us live. We appreciate you guys staying on. Hopefully helped, like you say, cash some tickets for you guys. I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. That way. He's Aaron Halterman. Mike Samich, thank you for joining us. And of course, Saratoga Slim. Cannot forget you, my friend. Thanks, everybody. Good luck betting the NFL. Good luck playing the college football this weekend or on Monday, the national championship. Good luck this weekend.
And I'm Mike.